Yo. Okay, guys. I'm assuming everybody's got us here. Now, first up, we're very sorry for the delay here. Well, one, we kind of reorged our timeline on this. A couple of reasons. Well, there's a few things, but partly to give members more time to post up their coins here, because we have members all over the planet, actually. So just giving more lead time so we can get more content here for you guys. That was part of the thinking. So I think we're going to try and hold this 11:30 start time. Okay, guys. I'm assuming everybody's got us here. Sorry for the delay here. Well, one, we kind of reordered our timeline on this. A couple of reasons. I don't know. There's a few things, but partly to give members more time to post up their coins. So because we have members all over the planet, actually. So what am I doing with that? More lead time so we can get you guys part of it. Oh, I'm not muted. That's it. Oh, I knew it was something. Okay, so that's the delay. All right, we're Jesus Christ. Boy, we sound like a bunch of amateurs, don't we? Okay, so I think we are good now. Monte Crypto, I think we're good. Yeah, okay, good. All right, guys, we're trying to get this started. I've got a lot of material to cover today, so it's frustrating here. So first up, we tried at 11:30, but there was some sort of issue with Streamlabs, who we run this through, and apparently some relation to what was going on with Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp all going down. Well, across the planet, from what I understand. So Streamlabs apparently got caught up in that. So I think now at this point, we're okay here. So I apologize for the bumpy start here. As always, we will record this. So if you don't have time now or don't want to sit through this, you can always come back to it. And then we always offer a little table of contents. So if you see there's 15 coins on there, but you're only interested in one or two, you don't have to sit through all of it to get to the ones that interest you. Or if you're a member, the one that you posted about that you're looking for some feedback on. So just to refresh, right? So occasionally we'll get some new people here. It looks like we've got a good number here. And I see a lot of members as well. But just for those that perhaps are new here, there's two things we try to accomplish here. One, we're always interested to see what members are focused on, how they're approaching their TA. It's more just kind of gives us a sense of how they're progressing. But the main thing, right, and the thing I think there is why people like to watch here is you're going to get trade ideas and setups that often what members will post here is trades that are literally at the moment of entry. So it's a great place to look for ideas if you got some dry powder and you're looking for ideas. Remember, you're going to have hundreds. I don't even know. I mean, we've many hundreds of members now, all viewing the market through the same technical lens, looking for setups. So this is a great scan for things that you might not have seen. As you've heard me say before, very often I spot things here that I just wouldn't have gotten to. And I'll see them here and say, holy smokes, that's a great looking setup. I'm in. So with all of that said here, I've got a lot to get through today. So with our apologies duly noted here. First up here, so I've got IOTA to the Tether on Binance. So this is, he's been with us for some time now. This is Heisenberg 619. I'm always amused by the picture. I'll be damned if I can figure out what that picture is there. But anyway, he's got an unusual avatar in his handle, but Heisenberg 619 with IOTA. And this is really actually pretty interesting. So the count here, so first duly noted, we are in log scale, right? In and out of log, we get very, very different looking chart. But so certainly we have the range to support a look in log. So thus the whole idea looks pretty simple. So this looks very Bitcoin-like, right? So off of the COVID lows one. Now this actually is really what's interesting here. You see, it would be really tempting to think, okay, well, there's your correction, right? I mean, okay, looks like 1, 2, maybe we're starting in a diag here. But if you really kind of dig through it, there is a very clear 3 in here. So that's clearly a 3. That's clearly a 3, and looks like you can go 1, 2. Pick your 4, right? 4, 5 to get that in. So there's a nice little ABC here, and then it looks like you finish with a diagonal. So it's funky, right? It's unusual, but it's not. This is the kind of thing you have to look for, but you won't confirm it ultimately until you get here. And that's where this is so interesting. So if we come off of this on the assumption here as Heisenberg 619 has it labeled as this is the 2. So you might be, maybe, right? Because it's very tempting to think 1, 2, right? And then 1, 2. Well, note what happens here. So if this is the 2 and we assume that's the 3, so we do a couple of things. So first, just to kind of nail it down, right? This is just standard operating. You would want to do this. Say, okay, well, are we, I mean, granted in log scale, but are we more than 100%? Well, we are. Okay. So we've got a reasonable candidate here for the third. And of course, the nice clean impulse is right there. And what are you using here, Heisenberg? You got the 13 and the 55. All right. Well, so that's, he's just, instead of the longer term, Vegas Wave would probably be interesting right here as well. Looks like we've got a modified shift. Right? So this would be remember, modified shift just replicates a channel. So, but you get the median lines and then the running parallels here. So this all looks quite good. Now coming down into again, what is it you're looking for? If that's the 3, well, we're looking for an ABC to come out of that. Well, so here's the tell right here, that little 3. Right, because I can finish into 5. Boy, that's a big. As you're funny with your giant degrees. Okay, well, if that's the 3. I mean, I suppose you could have been thinking here A, B, C. You might have easily been thinking there. So, how would you know? Well, first, a couple of things you'd be measuring here was how does that relate to the idea that I've got the 2 here? Well, if this is going to be it, you'd look for something technical there on the 4, right? So if I come up here, all right, we're in between the 2. So it would have been very easy to think, so if you're over here, you're thinking, hey, correction's in. Oh, ABC, right? We come right into the pocket. That's where I'm looking for it. But you don't, right? So the fact that this, well, a couple of things to note. What is it? What do we run into? Right into the median line. So you can look at that and say, well, hey, man, what about, I'm in that little rotational pocket, right? Which is how you want to think of this, between the 13 and the 55. So I'm right in that little rotational pocket, to where if it's going to continue to rally, you'd expect it to break above the longer term. You expect it to break above the 55. The fact that it rolls over here and we do it in a 3 would make you think, okay, something else is going on here. So since I can count this, I can get the clear 1, 2 there, right? And then I can you're kind of stuck with it. You've got this big pop here to the median line where you come down and get a 5. Now we're back again to the median line right now. Right. This is what really I wanted you to see. So if you were wondering, God, do I have this right? Is that the 2? And you're looking for a technical pivot. The fact that we hold that, I mean, that's 65 to the tick. So just one more. I mean, again, the same thing here. You might have been thinking, hey, is that it? Or I'm right at the golden zone, but you wouldn't have been able to finish it there. So you might have been, so did you have a little scalp there? Yeah, you did, right? Because again, you guys have heard me say this 1,000 times. The software, the algorithm that's there does not care about that Elliott count. All it cares about is, hey, I'm at the golden zone, right? So there's your reaction. There's the retest. Now, can they break? Bears are trying to break that, right? So I'd have been checking all of them, right? So if I come back to this pivot, maybe I've got that wrong. Maybe it's 1, 2, 3. I'd have been checking that. Either one, right, gives you that reaction here. But per the Elliott count, again, remember, this is a secondary. This is not the dominant. This is the dominant, right? It's the lowest low. This is a secondary pivot, but we're kind of getting there as a pivot of significance off of the Elliott count. So would that make sense? Well, it's deep for a 4, and you certainly could have had a couple of fake outs here. This one, but the fact that I don't want that, I mean, there's a great example of why Elliott Wave is helpful, because I don't get a big third here. I don't get that. You can look at it this way. What do I run into? So not only am I running into the median line, I'm running into this area here where you would anticipate if it's going to roll over. Well, that's exactly where you would anticipate it would roll over. I mean, the tag of the median line is just a little bonus here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it would be very hard to finish that here. You'd have been thinking, God, do I have a WXY? Because you might have thought 1, 2, easily thought it. Now, right? So if you were here with a stop under the 65, oh shit, I'm wrong. Are you wrong? Right, it's just a better finish. So you can look at that and say, okay, I got it now. I see where I am. Okay, regardless of whether you were participating here, and I can certainly see how you could have very easy to have taken a couple of small losers here. Easily happened. And I think the bigger lesson here is from just trying to teach trading here, you got to be prepared to go again. I mean, you could have gone long here, right? And then clearly, if you went long here, well, you had a good start to it because you would clearly have been thinking 1, 2. I heard a great quote that has been resonated with me all weekend. It was from another educator. If I can remember who it was. I can't remember who it was. I'd like to give him credit, but the comment was, it's not what the market does. It's what the market is supposed to do and doesn't. Now, you got to roll that around in your head for a second. So if you're thinking here that this is 1, 2, which would have been very easy, right? So it looks like it's a perfect 50. You've got all this wick rejection. Well, your anticipation is I come out of here, I get a third, right? So it's not what the market does. It's what it's supposed to do and doesn't. Think about that for a second. Now, this is supposed to go for a third. If I think it's 1, 2, 3 here, and I've got my 4s going in, and I think that's what I got here, right? 1, 2, right? You could have easily taken that long thinking, okay, I'm in, right? I'm 1, 2, all right? I'm 1, 2, I'm off. And now the fact that it rolls over at this point here, you're probably taking a small loser here. If you're here off of the idea that it's a 1, 2, when we take that out, even if you gave it a little more room, because you're thinking, oh shit, maybe I got an A, B, C, I'm coming down here. You're that's a little hopium, right? You can feel yourself, right? We've all been there. Like, oh, as you're saying, okay, all right. So it wasn't the 1, 2. Looks like, oh, I know what it's going to be. It's going to be a 1 with an expanded B. Now I'm coming down here for the C, and oh, I got it. Okay. So you're thinking 1, A, B, C. Well, do you really, it's a little bit of a force fit to think you've got a completed 5 here. Maybe you talk yourself into it. Now, if this is going to be, again, it's not what the market does. It's what it's supposed to do and doesn't. If this is the 4 here, you're saying you can talk yourself into it. Hey, golden zone. Right, prior pivot right here. Okay, so maybe it's a WXY. Okay, and I'm into the pivot here. I know it's technical, so I know an algo is going to respond here. Right? Do I get a what is the market supposed to do now? If that analysis is correct, what's it supposed to do? Certainly not that, right? So it's what it does. It's what it's supposed to do and doesn't. Right. So this would have been your tell. Okay, well, it can't be, the 4 can't be here. I got a new low. Could it be here? Well, do I get a cleaner finish here? It's a little bit of a, it's not great, right? The 4 to the 2. It's not ideal, but is it a 5? Does it complete the count? The necessity here, because this now, once you get that 3 there, that's your B. And I say that because I can count 5 here. 3. I'm looking for the 5. All right. So when it gets here, what's the market supposed to do? I'm supposed to get an impulse. Well, pardon me. It could be a diag. I'm supposed to get a 5. Do I get a 5? Okay. Right. So now I can kind of work all the way backwards through this and going, okay, well, wait a minute. Does that make sense here? Is this 1? If that's my 2, which is a little wonky in the first place, well, if that's my 2, what am I, again, what is it supposed to do? Now, I want to be careful about that language in terms of, well, what's the market supposed to do? Well, the market doesn't have to do anything. But per your analysis, if you're reaching the conclusion that I've got my retrace in, I've got my pivot low, I can talk it all the way through here, I can get all the way here, I'm right in the golden zone. It's supposed to, at the very least, give me a reaction here. Because coming out of a golden zone does not mean that we are inevitably going up here to that target. It just means we can see the algorithm fired here, right? Just like it fired here, just like it fired here, right? It's just a reaction. What we're looking for is the reaction. Do we get a reaction? Well, we got a reaction here, right? But it rolls over again. Now, do I get a better reaction here? So now at this point, you could kind of start to think, all right, so that was what I was anticipating. This is what it was supposed to do. It's a little bit of a funky, but right, just probably going with Bitcoin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, shit, do I overlap? Yeah, it looks like I do overlap there. Might be another way to count this. Let's just double check here. All right, so if that's the 1, right, so pretty good, right? We overlap double. So now you got to think of this as A, B, C, A, B, C. Or so now, again, it changes what the market is supposed to do. Well, this is a little dicey here. Let's see, because if we're going to get a diag here, can we make that work? I'm not sure we can here. Heisenberg, did you measure this? because, excuse me. So I'm assuming, right? So Heisenberg, if you're watching this, right? So I'm assuming you see where I'm headed with this. Well, if this is going to be a diag, right? And it's going to be a leading diag, right? Or any 5, right? 3 can never, ever be the shortest. Not in a diag, it cannot be the shortest. Now it can be shorter than 1, but you can't have 3 shorter than 1 and 5 shorter than 3, right? We just can't have that. So you're kind of back, you're stuck here going, wait a minute. What's the alternative? Right now, love it or hate it. This is where Elliott Wave is adding some value here. Now, I'm going through this with you guys one swing at a time. I have not pre-analyzed this. I didn't check his work. I never do, right? Everything I do is completely in real time, right? At the moment. Well, I suppose, right? I do a little work ahead of the Bitcoin videos on Friday, but on a live stream, I don't look at anything, right? Because I want you guys to get the thought process, right? Which is what most people tell me that's what they want. It's not, oh, work it all out and here's the 5 and here's the 1, they want to say how, because that's what you're going through, right? It's the same thing, right? We all go through the same thing. Could that be? Does it qualify? Well, right now we know for a fact here, we can look here and say this cannot be the 1 as it's currently labeled. So does that offer some value? Well, in my view, that does, right? Because I'm eliminating one possibility. Because otherwise, you're back to, heads I buy, tails I sell, right? I mean, you got to have some way to say, well, at least reduce the number of possibilities. So if this cannot be a 5, right? We can't label it that way. Do we have any other options here? Well, my first thought would be just maybe there's a 1, 2 in here that I'm missing. So I would start drilling down here in lower time. Shit, here we are. No sooner do I say, well, boy, we've got a lot to cover. I can't spend a lot of time on this. I got a bit of a bear here, right? So can we get this to work here? Well, this is so clearly the correction. Well, you're kind of stuck there. 1, 2, this would be the 4. So it looks like you have to go, oh, Jesus Christ. That's corrective there. You don't have much of a 2 coming out of here. I'm on an 8 hour. Let's just try the 4 just to see if we can get something here that works. Of course, the downside of not working through any of this is that sometimes you get stuck here and you're not going to have an answer in the amount of time I've got to work with here. So it looks like this. So working backwards, that looks like your 4. So you got to go back to your 3. That looks like the internal 4. So you're kind of stuck here. So it looks like you got to go 1. So that has to be your 1, right? So coming off of this, looks like you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. So this has to be the 1. Oh shit! Here, let me try again. This has to be the 1. Come here. 1, 2. This can only then be 1, 2. This is kind of making for a problem, right? So here, so if this is, so coming off of that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here I do get a clean 1, right? So I get a clean impulse here. I get a clean correction here. Now it looks like you'd have to go, oh God, I got to check that. You'd have to go get that right there. Okay. So 1, 2, yeah. So this is the low here. So let's wick it off. Thought I'd be able to get this faster than I can. All right. So you got to do 1, 2. So let's come back here. This has to be the 1 here. So let's see. Could I do it here? Looks like I could do it here. Sometimes it's a matter of backing into it. So this would give me the possibility to go 1, 2. Here's the clear impulse, right? So I can see this impulse here. Well, let's just get kind of, can I use the relationships here to help me? It's a little deeper than I'd like. If this is the 2, do you see the problem here? So if this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I can go 1, 2, all right, it doesn't kill it here. So 1, 2, then this would have to be 3. So we're kind of stuck here working into this. Actually, that may do it. Okay, so God, that's a brutal start. can I work backwards, right? So here again, let me just label this here. So shit, this is hard for me, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so let's take this one up a degree here. All right, so this is truly on the fly, real time, trying to figure it out. Okay, this is how we solve it, right? So here's the impulse I can see, right? I have no overlap here. I have a clean impulse. Well, since I've got overlap, I don't want this to be my 1 here because the overlap here. So can I work it lower, right? Could it be? Yeah, it can't be there because this has to be the 4, 5. Jesus. All right, so can it be here? No, can't be here. So it has to be here. So this has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So let's work with that. So if this becomes the 1, that has to become the 2. God, I can't say I love that. 1, 2, 3. You're kind of stuck with that because this has gone too far. Oh, this is a bitch. Heisenberg. 1, 2. I might have to revisit that. Okay, so this actually kind of looks like you want this all to be self-contained. So I'm actually going to move this over here. This looks like 1, 2 here. So where can I identify my impulses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see. So could this be 3, 3, A, B, C? So let's just start playing with this. Jesus. B, C, right? Could that be 1, 2? That doesn't really play very well there here. So I was trying to think, could this be just corrective? So it's not quite far enough, but we could go W, X, Y. I suppose we could look at that. W, X, I don't have an ABC there. No, we can't do it, right? I'm kind of stuck here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's label that. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So this is my little fucker at the bottom. You might have to do it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would have to go down here. 1, 2. Can't be 3 because it would be the shortest. So it has to be 1, 2, right? So that has to go up here. So this one has to be here, or it's ABC. Boy, this, I don't know that you have enough here to work with yet. That's an impulse. That's an impulse. I think there's enough there. So if I went 1, 2, push that out for the second. 1, 2, 3, we'd already have overlapped. I don't think you have a solution here, Heisenberg. I don't think you have it yet, right? So you're thinking here, I want this to be self-contained, right? So because I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it can't be that 3 because we're too deep here. All right. So coming down here, we get a W, ABC. That looks good. ABC. I don't think this is so that I'd be looking for more info here. Right. So, okay, I like that. Now let's just double check that we got that right. So same thing. Heisenberg, is your 3, it looks like it's good, right? So I just want to make sure your 3 wasn't the shortest there. 1, 2, yeah, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that works. Okay, so here we get, so 3 longer than 1, 5 longer than 3. So we get this first little push out to it. All right, that looks all right. So this would come over here. Maybe it did that before you posted this up. Okay, so A, B, now 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I can live with that. All right, right in the pocket. You got to get a decent reaction there. A, B, well, that's a little bit of a surprise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess you need it to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, are you done? That's a pretty good rejection wick. But you got a problem on that other side that I can't get to, at least here on the fly. 2. Jesus, I don't see it. That has to be the 4, the 5. 1, 2. Can't be 3. So 1, 2. I think you're kind of stuck here. So that's a good example. If you're working through it and you can't get there and you can't get it to work the way, right? So we're back to what, can you find what you're anticipating here? All right, I don't know where the 4 is here. 1, 2 can't be 3. So it has to be 1, 2. If I'm that lost, I avoid it until I get something else. So I got to either get my big 3 here so I can say, okay, well, I don't have a clear handle on how that's going to be counted, but I've got an impulse here. It's a deep correction that it does it that I can figure out. Okay, I can see the WXY here. Now, what am I anticipating? A 1 and a 2. If I come into that zone, I come out of here and I get a 3. Well, I know I've got a problem spot back here. But I can't quit. So you guys have seen me do this before. I'll just go. That's a little bit of a problem. I mean, unless you're 1, 2 down here, 3, 4, 5. I don't have it. So if I don't have it and I can't get clarity on it, if I were really anxious to take that trade, I really wanted it. Well, I might. Looks like I might do it like that. Okay, if I was going to take that, and Heiselberg, if you're looking to go here, I sure would be conservative on the risk, and I'd want at least that kind of a target, right? So you're going to get 3 to 1 there. Well, you got a big target here. Oh shit, you're going for a big 3. Minimum I'd want is right here, right? So that would give me 5 to 1. So if this starts to go, I still don't see how you can get that to finish there. What am I expecting, right? If that's 1, 2 at minimum here, 3. So I think what you were targeting there might be a little much, because you'd be expecting here we'd get, then I'm just using the most common target. We'd finish that 5. So if I wanted to be more conservative here, because I can't get a handle on that, I would say, okay, give me this 5 that completes. Now, if I want to be a buyer, I'll buy it right here, right off of that. I can play that structure right there. That's where I would be a buyer, right there, looking for the bigger 3. Now this is me, right? And if I spend an hour on that, I can probably come up with something that works. But I don't see it off just first glance. I don't see how to count that. And there are going to be times where you can't fucking count it. And you're going to go, well, do I want to trade here? Do I want to trade here when I can't figure that out? Well, my answer is definitely not. Now, even with that, what's the market? What am I expecting the market to do? If I get a 5 that comes out of here, I'm expecting the 3 to retrace it. Now here, now I can start to put some things together. Okay, now I got enough reveal here where I can go, all right, well, that's a little wonky, but at least I know now I've got a 5 followed by a 3. I'm back into prior structure. I mean, again, start to put the whole thing together. Okay, well, here's where we rejected. All right, we got a little wick through it, back test. Now we're going to test from above. That's just what you want. If this is a legit breakout, okay, test it from above. Tell me that there's no supply is going to drop into the market here. And now I can get behind that. Now I can say, okay, I got it. I see where I am here. I can look at the risk reward here. No reason to take it down below that. No reason to let it do that. If I'm looking for that, now I'm comfortable. You don't want to trade when you're uncomfortable. Like, shit, I don't know exactly what happened there. So, but hey, we're at a golden zone, so I'm going to take it. There's just so many things to trade. There's no reason to force a trade just because you think, oh, I read something on Twitter or I saw an article about IOTA to going to rule the world. It has to be consistent with your trading plan. If your trading plan allows you to take stuff without clarity on what preceded it, well, okay, you've got conditions here or here that might be appropriate. For me, that would be a no trade, right? Until I see more. Holy shit! All right, I went way too long. You gave me a bitch.
He did message and say, linear chart, he measures 3 longer than 1. So on linear, on the early August start.
Well, but he gave it to me in log, right? So that might do. So what's our range here? That's a pretty big range. Well, maybe that's how you solve it, right? You've got to take it out of log, and maybe you can make that work. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Okay. Well, so that helps me at least understand what you were thinking. But I could swear you gave it to me in log. I think you did. Isn't that it? 1, 2, 3. All right. So it sure looks better over here out of log. Maybe that's the problem. I'm trying to do it in log. 3. So that would be, no, either way. All right. So I'm just giving that enough time. Okay. So at least that helps me, Heisenberg. So I understand what you were thinking there rather than getting that 3 is the shortest. But I still, even with that, right, in or out of log, still, I would be, this is where I would take it. All right. Confirm this 5 for me. Give me the 3, then I'm in. All right. Well, I made a mess of that one. Okay. Well, let me keep moving here.
So we have a donation, and so let's do that next.
Okay.
I'll warn you, you're going to hate it, but
why did you look at it?
Well, yeah, it's a crypto cap chart because they don't have the actual price. So if you just type in crypto cap,
this is market cap.
Yes. So they don't actually have a price chart on TradingView, but just type in crypto cap.
Oh, fuck, here. Crypto cap. What do I want just under all, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Crypto cap.
And then, no, so then do that. And then, I guess the colon and then HEX, HEX. And it's that top one.
Okay.
So you're going to hate it because the I guess it doesn't give you a full like actual price. It's more just based off the market cap. And so it's up to like 100 billion, but that's just the actual. But that's what he requested. And that's the only way to do it.
I've never seen this chart. So this is crypto's total market cap?
No. So it's HEX. So there's a coin called HEX. And they don't actually have it on any exchanges. It's on more like a Uniswap. But if it's gone up stupid amounts. And so.
Oh, HEX. Yeah, I've seen a lot of buzz about this. So
yeah, Richard something or other. But this is the market cap of it because they don't actually have, like, it's not tradable on Binance or Bybit or anything like that.
All right. So so you can only trade it on one of the swaps?
I believe so.
Okay.
To my knowledge, anyway.
All right. Well, this is a tough one here. Okay. Well, we got just looking at it, this sure looks 4-ish, or doesn't it? So let's. Okay, so this has to be just at an eyeballs glance here. I'd want to go into log here. Would be my first thought, just to open it up a little bit more. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be just at first glance here. So whoever's curious, I'm curious. Right? So could be here, right? Just using the tools, right? So here's our high probability for a 3, right? That's our high probability zone. That's a pretty good retest here. That could work, right? So you'd have to be A, B, C. Although it could be a triangle here, A, B, C, D, E. Looks like that might be what we're looking at there. That seems to fit a little bit better here in terms of upside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That's a pretty good looking top up there. Well, so right off the bat, okay, so that looks reasonable. Well, so again, I don't know if this is a regular watcher. Oh, this is Harim. Well, if you've watched some of my content here, you know that I would suggest that would be a terrible time to enter the market. Right? Now, there again. So when I say that, if you just got in, right, that's more. Oh God, can I bring that down? Yeah, there we go. So always the risk here. I say over time, this is what I'm absolutely certain you'll experience. There are going to be times where you can buy up here. So look at Bitcoin right now. It's a good example, right? It looks like it's just fucking dying to break, right? It wants to go higher, but it's stalling here. So what's happening here? The market, it's just the same thing happening here. There's a consolidation here. and business gets done, right? So the market is building a new value area here. Now, all it would take is a little bit of a break, and you're going to spook the market, right? And you'll have because I know this is a hot project. Now that I think about it, I've seen there's a lot of people posting about it. I think I get a lot of comments under some of our YouTube vids here about, like your video, but you got to see what HEX is doing. This is just a dangerous place to enter the market, right? So you always want to be, when you're coming into a top like that, you always want to already have been long. So if you get rejected up here, you're not getting rejected having just entered the market. Again, over time, what you're much better to look for is the break and then the retest. That's how you handle what do you got? 3, 4, 5 tops there. You want to see it get tested. So first, blow out all the stops there. So all the stops get run because there's some there. There'll be fuel there. There'll be breakout traders there. Now the breakout trader thinks, this is easy money, right? So they're in like, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire. Retrace. Now they start to panic here. And if they're not strong longs, they'll sell. Right. And it's that selling is a question now. Is that was that weak longs that entered the mark here, or is that fresh supply coming in? Well, there's only so many ways we can tell here. You're going to know pretty quickly, but this is just a much safer place to enter the market because the risk to reward is going to be much better. Well, I'm going to put my stops down here. So if I'm going to risk that much to make that much, then if it tanks, okay, well, I didn't blow my account up here. I took the loss here, but at least I was thoughtful about how I approach the market. Now, again, there are going to be times when it's just going to go straight. You're going to miss the ride. But sooner or later, the people that catch that, again, the temptation to take profit will be so much. Eventually, there'll be a retrace. And if it comes in a 3, maybe you pick up some new structure like this. Doesn't necessarily come all the way down here, but there'll be something there. Right now, that's just pausing. So, what advantage do you have here? Well, you have an uptrend. You have a clear uptrend, right? Higher highs, higher lows. You've got an Elliott count here that looks like it could work. So we get a sharp correction here. We get a sideways triangle here. Looks like 1, 2, 3. This looks very forced. So if I were labeling that, it looks like you'd have to do it this way. 3, triangle, 4. So probably one more kick there. If you've got conviction in it and you're comfortable with that risk profile, if you take that, where's your stop? Okay, I'm going to take the break out of that pivot. Okay, and I'm looking for that. Where's your stop? All right, what's the risk reward? Right? Can you use the market? Or are you just going to use a random risk number? Right? If you're going to use the market, okay, well, can I get 5 to 1? Well, maybe you can. Let's go 8 hours there, see if I can get anything better. A, B, C, D, E. Looks like that's pretty triangle-like. I suppose if I were really wanted to buy this, I might give that a swing right there. Because, it sure does look like a triangle 4, right? So, and again, that would be consistent here. Sideways. That's at least you'd have here. What you'd have? Would you have 1 to 1 there? If I can't get 1 to 1 is where I move my stop. So if I can get here, well, there's 1.3. If I get there, and recognizing the potential is always right. Anytime you're approaching a prior high, right? It's always the potential. It's kind of breakout bait, right? There'll be traders that will sit there waiting to crush the breakout trader. Now, breakout traders may be so strong that they can drive it here. So nobody knows what's going to happen. It's just an odds play, right? You're so vulnerable here because if they fuck with you, right? So if they take it up here and then they try and scare you out, right? Which happens a lot. You're going to panic sell, right? So the first thought is when you're buying up at highs, don't go all in on the first entrance into the market. Let it confirm for you. And if you got that, oh shit, okay, I know what they're doing here, right? This is get the weak longs out, right? Scare them to death. Now, right? Certainly that's possible. Here would be next door, even here, right? It might be some support. If I can get into this and now I start to go again. Here, I guess I'm going to stay on that theme, right? Because it really resonated with me. What is the market supposed to do here, right? Per your analysis, right? I always should add that. If it's up and then it's back down here and we're coming in to test this support, if my analysis is correct, it's supposed to come out of here with a 3. Now I got 7 to 1. assuming you're up here to get that 5. I guess I have to take this up a degree. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Let's put that here in green. If I'm going to take that, I'm going to go modest on size because I'm really vulnerable. You're vulnerable to this, right? That comes down here. You're just vulnerable to it, right? So why put yourself in that position where you're checking the market every 12 seconds? What did it do? What did it do? What did it do? Did it go? Did it go? Let it confirm for you. Come back in again. Understand it may not come back, right? That's the trade-off. That's the risks that you have to accept, right? So either I buy it and I go, well, fuck that guy, I'm just buying it. Or you say, well, okay, let's see if I can get a more palatable entry here where I'm not just rolling bones here. It's like, oh, fuck, let's just see what happens. Right. That's very, very common thing that happens amongst traders, right? Well, I read something, sounds bullish. Let's see what happens. Careful about that, right? That's just not a professional way to approach managing risk. I hope I give you a couple of things to think about there, right? I don't want to talk you out of the trade, right? Again, this is a very hot project here, and I know a lot of people are extremely enthusiastic. Well, shit, look at the count, right? But you're likely approaching. Oh, geez, do we have anything underneath? Yeah, even the RSI is giving you room here too. Well, okay, so there's a good tell. You'd want to see that get over the 50 line, and right, so the 50 here, and hold it. And get up over 70. You'd want to see that. Now you could look at that and say, okay, I know where I am. I'm likely in the 5th here, going up toward to finish this with the anticipation, right? That there's going to be an opportunity to get in. Oh, shit, get out of here. There's going to be an opportunity to get into that long. At some point, right? Things just, even though, it's tempting to say, oh my God, it's never coming back. Most of the time there will be some sort of retrace, and you can just kind of look at this and say, well, that would make sense. And then if I'm pulling from here to here, and that's, well, they're not, well, look at that. Well, isn't that interesting? Now between the 50 and the golden zone, now am I in log or not in log, right? You got to make that distinction here. You've certainly got it. What do we go from 500 million to 200 billion, right? That's a raging bull here. So I completely understand that temptation to say, I want to get into this move. Well, I'll give you a couple of different ways to approach that. If you're anxious to go in, just go in with smaller size, get the retrace, now add when you're adding with a little house money or very near to your break even. So, or your entry to the first entry. So you're not really adding any distance to your stop. You're just taking on a little more size. Even here, I wouldn't go heavy yet. You gotta wait. And if you get this, right, you kind of want to wait and see, does it come back and test that, right? Those are the little So do I get a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Those are just little simple shit that we forget. Like, oh, God, okay, do I get it? Yeah, kind of my theme for the day. What am I anticipating that it does? Does it do it? If it doesn't, then you got to bail and say, okay, well, maybe the 5 is in here. Maybe we're going to double top. Something else is happening. Now I'm just looking for the next opportunity. Where might I get long again? Where can I test something? Where that you could see here, like, oh shit, well, let's test that, right? I mean, because these longs are likely to defend here. They bought it once here. Will they defend? Now, if it breaks, well, okay, now something else is going on. We're going down to now. This is likely done. Well, it doesn't look like it, right? I have to say, right? So that looks very forced. It looks like there's one more kick there. So maybe a nibble on that longer side, but for a big reload, I'd want to see a deeper correction here. Something like the prior 3-4. That's where I would be a little more aggressive. So shit, I'm just taking way too long on these, but okay. Well, let me keep moving here. Interesting, right? That I've never seen that. We're seeing that done that way. Okay, so let me keep going, or this will be a 12-hour live stream. Thank you for that, Rim. Okay, let me move on to Grant F, because his are always super easy. All right, because I know exactly what I'm about to look at. Okay, so here I've got what happened there? Hang on a second. Did I get that right? No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want Grant F's link here. Copy link. All right, bear with me, guys. Here we're just getting rolling here. God, that was a brutal start between IOTA and HEX. All right, Grant saved the day here. Make me look good. So if any of you are members, right, you know exactly what you're going to see from Grant. right? You're going to have a clean Elliott count, right? So note here, we get a clean 5 into that 1. Added bonus, we get a harmonic, right? Now we've got a completed harmonic here. So this is a little dicey in here. Oh, can we get that to work, Grant? I'm assuming we can. So we'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we get a kind of a wobbly diagonal one. So you'd have to go A, B, C, A, B, C, A, oh shit, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. All right, so you've got your diag here. Not the prettiest ever. It looks like 5 may not be longer than 3, but we've got a diag here. We're coming into a candidate for the 2. We come right to the golden zone. So with this, now, so the premise here is that we've got a good, so that we complete the bat here. All right, so off of this pivot here with the proposed 4, that gives us the 5. Now I'm looking for 3. Right now I get a kind of a bumpy start, right? So the diagonal is always the market wrestling with the difficulty of changing the trend. I mean, that's a massive, from this pivot here, that's a big sell-off. What is SNX? I know it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember because I know we've looked at this before. So you get a golden corner here off of the idea that I've corrected here, and I've gone as far as I would like to see it go. So I've got my 80% probability here. Here's first target, which would be a double top. 1, 2. So potentially you've got the 1, 2 just starting here. So this is a good example. He's giving you the trade right here as it sits ready to launch. Very, very low risk reward, right? There's 8.3, 12.6. And if you get the big one, that's 16, right? Going back up to a double top. This would be 3 of the 1 of the 3. So if it's 1, 2, 3, it's hard, very hard to stay long to get all of that, right? Very hard. But if you got these 3, right? If it doesn't quite make it, are you disappointed? Probably not. 23, 618, 100% the length of the 1, 2 with 80% odds off of the corner and very low risk. If you're looking for a trade, they don't get any better than that. Perfect, right? Just perfect, right? So he's very consistent with what he posts up here. Always a harmonic to confirm the pivot. Well, pardon me. It's a pivot at this moment per this analysis. Now, nothing says we couldn't come down here and take that out, right? But as we sit right now, I've got a strong candidate for a hard pivot here, and I'm looking for 5. Do I get the 5? Yeah, now I've got a little choppy into that. Looks like you got to go A, B, C, but so look how many times you tapped into that golden zone. 1, 2, 3 times, right? So they're defending there. There's the reaction, right? It's just that, right? That's what you're looking for is the reaction. Now, because it's not likely to go straight, what you want is the reaction and then the retrace. Now, all right, so if this is legit, if this is a legit pivot, then we should be in good shape here. I've got all of those ingredients working for me here, and I got my 80% odds. Now, could I get it here? I could get it here, but I've got my 80% in play, right? So again, where else do you get that in the market? Well, the only place comparable is selling out on the money options, right? But if you're looking, right, since that's, it can be done in crypto, but you better not live in the US, right? So here, if you're going to get that 1, 2, right? So you're trying to get into the 3 of the 1 of the 3, because that's not going to be 1, 2 to get you to that 3. Right? This is if this is going to play, that's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? There's the 1, 2, right? There's the 2, right? Now we're looking for the big 3. Then maybe we go sideways, and that's how you're going to get there. If that's going to happen, right? It's not going to go in a straight line. So here's the first little bite. Now, right, if we get to the median line, hey, I've just got my 80%. What am I expecting the market to do next? So if you're looking at that, right, it's assume when we don't have that, like, wouldn't that be like the obvious spot where you'd say, hey, if I retrace down to here, I'm interested, right? And then you draw another set of median lines, right? You say, hey, I can do it again, right? Do I get my 80% again? Right? But the focus is not, look how much I can make. I try to encourage you to look down here. How much could I lose if I'm wrong? That always, right? This is amateur, right? Oh God, look how much I'm going to make. Professional, what's my risk, right? Can I accept that risk? What's the appropriate size here? Right? Always, how much could I risk? How much could I lose? All right, let me keep moving here because I know we got a lot to get. Okay, PKS Avenda. Oh, this will be good. All right, so you guys that are watching here, you're seeing some of our regulars now. These names will start to be familiar, right? Of course, members all know these guys. They've accomplished and post often, and that's one of the nice things about our community here, that everybody's very forthright sharing trade setups. Okay, so let me bear with me a second here. I got to copy this because it looks like I got to work with this. I know I've seen this before. Cypher B. I want to say I've seen. I think that guy sends me links to some of his tools. I think I've seen his work. Okay, so I got a 1 hour here on EOS. EOS. Well, I got to come back. I got to pull out a little bit, see what you're thinking, PK. Oh, shit. Where we go? Let's go out of here a little bit. All right. So can we get 5 into the start of this? Well, yeah. So I think seems like we've looked at this before. Here's our low here. So we can get an ugly diagonal into this. Okay, so I've got a textbook, right? 5 longer than 3, 3 longer than 1. So I've got all the conditions that I would be looking for. Now, what am I anticipating? Right? If that's a leading diagonal, what is the market supposed to do now? Give me 3 into a 2. Okay, if that's the 2, what is the market supposed to do? Right? So you're looking for 5, right? Does it do it? And again, the thing you got to remember is that many, many times you're not going to get the 5 here. But when you do, like, hey, pay attention. Hey, I was looking for the 3. I got the 3. Hey, I was looking for the 5. I got the 5. Right. So the market seems to be in an Elliott Wave structure here where I can qualify everything. So I can look at this and say, I have context here. I've got a leading diagonal. What am I looking for to come off of that? Okay. All right. Got my 3. What am I looking for? So if I come into here, say, okay, well, I'm looking for 5. Well, that's a little deep, right? But right, I don't overlap. So, oh shit, ABC, very sharp, right? So now, look, it's nice, right? So, Elliott, sharp followed by sideways. Right. So I've got alternation in play. Right. So I can lean into this like, oh, because you're not, over here, you're going, well, shit, maybe we got a WXY here. You don't know. But again, this is where the Elliott is helpful. Hey, well, I can look at that and say, well, now it's pretty sharp and deep too. So if I was going to get a 4 here, what I would anticipate, what is the market supposed to do? It's supposed to give me a sideways. Does it do it? Right. It's been scripted. Right? Like, well, shit, that's amazing. Right? It was supposed to do this and it did that. It was supposed to do this and it did that. Right? So now, and I hear, can I finish in 5? Right? So always, can I finish in 5? A pretty good looking 5. So I've got a nice completed 1 here. Now, what's the market supposed to do? Right? If it's going to continue to play Elliott ball, what am I looking for here? I'm looking for a 3. What do I get? I get a 3, right? So I have all this context. See, this is where I think people miss the boat here on where Elliott's value is. It's not so much predicting what's coming. It's putting context into what came before so I can anticipate. Well, because if you don't know that, right? So how is she going to know? What is the market supposed to do here? What's it supposed to do here? Well, it's supposed to go up. Okay, but how is it supposed to go up? Because this is up. Right, I got a swing. I got an internal retracement. I broke the pivot. Right, so here, as you guys hear me say this all the time, that's all the market ever does. Right, so if I got that, am I bullish? Right, well, right, okay, that's a 3. Right, well, I got a retrace. I got here, so it's supposed to go up. Now, is it supposed to keep going up? How would you know? Right, because it's probably just looks just a measured move. Right, if I draw this out here, right, okay, so I got a measured move. Well, now. So I'm hitting an algo target. So what would you think? Oh, okay, well, that move is over, right? So they're going to take profit here and we retrace. Well, if I know that it came after a 3, I have an anticipation for something more than just a measured move here. I have an anticipation that I'm going to get a 3rd wave here, as in it's going to be longer than this one. And I know, listen, if I pivot here, I am not 100%. Right, we know this, right? This is how this algo was. This is how David Halsey originally identified it. Oh shit, I'm probably a little sloppy there. Right, it's the fail, because the most common measured move is the A to B equals C to D. It was the fact that it wasn't making it and then it was rolling over that, right, this started to be identified as an algorithm. Something else was going on here. That's how the measured move, right, per the 23.6 was identified, because it wasn't making the 100. Well, if I'm thinking 1, 2, and then this, what per the context, I'm looking for 5 to come off of that low. And then I'm looking for 3 to finish it, right? So what is the market supposed to do here? It's supposed to give me a nice 3. Does it? Will it? Well, shit, we don't know. Let's go look in there. What do we get down here? Oh, let me get this out of here. So PK, it looks like you got something teed up here nicely. Now, wait, so you see good work here, right? So this is all right. So the guys that have been with us for a while, right? They're not going to post anything where they're not going to qualify it, right? So all of the work has been done here. So he can qualify this pivot. So A, B, now look at a clean finish in a 5. And not only that, not only do I finish in 5, I can get 5 into the 5 of the 5. So you can lean into this heavily as, okay, I've got a very strong candidate for this correction to be over. Just out of curiosity, looks like that might have gone too far. Nope. Oh, I swear to God, guys, I do not make these up, right? I just kind of looked at that and said, that looks like a golden zone, right? So here's the algo getting paid. Right now, that doesn't rip and go off of here, right? Remember, hitting an algo target is not a buy signal. It's just how we can identify what happened here, right? Why did it stop there? Right? Why? There's, right? It has to be a reason. Has to be a reason it stops there. Otherwise, right? We're still going. That's why. And there's comfort in that. Right? Hopefully, see, I look at that and I go, oh, fuck. Okay, well, now I understand why. Because otherwise you're like, well, what? Why? Why does it stop there? Is it something to hear? Was it, you'd be pulling your hair out going, oh, is it that little pivot? Is that why it stopped there? Is it this? Is it that? Why? There's comfort there. Right? In an uncertain, chaotic, crazy, could do anything. Boy, is that comforting to me. Oh, I know exactly what happened there. Again, if the algo is kicking in here, what is it? What am I anticipating the market? What is it supposed to do? Does it do it? Okay, what do I got here? Well, so if that's the low, if that's my 2, and so far it's doing everything I'm anticipating that it should do, and it's doing it. So if that's the 2, what is the market supposed to do there? Right? I'm looking for a 5. Do I get it? Do I get a 5? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at this. Right? That looks like that's about a 2-6-1-8. That's a long one, right? You're even past that. Are we? Shit. Did you give me this? I can't remember if you gave this to me in log. Did you? Oh, shit, I don't think you did. Actually, maybe I'm in log. I'm the one who's off here. Maybe I shouldn't be in log. Okay, it wouldn't matter here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we're looking at a small enough range here. Where do you see the difference here is minuscule, right? It's a minuscule difference. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C into the 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you got a little tight there. To pull that 4 into that, you got a little pullback here. That's a little snug to get that to play. All right, A, B, C into an X. All right. Oh, let's see here, PK. What are you thinking here? You're getting mighty bullish on this. Why? Why are you entering here? Unless I fucked this up. Let's see. If I went in log, was any different? No. Did I screw that up? Why are you entering here? PK, I'm not sure. I'm not following you there. Why are you entering there? I mean, maybe, right? But right off the bat, I'd be down here. Well, okay, let's just look left. All right, so where's the structure? Right there. I'm between 50 and a 618. So maybe I moved that here, but that's what I'd be thinking. Well, shit, right, per your count, right? There's the WXY. Right. Again, if this is the 5, what is it right now? Can take, right? There's complexity here. I'm on a 2-hour here, and I think he sent me a 1. So it does it through a WXY. Okay, well that's all right. Again, it's just it's just an ABC connected by an ABC. It's not complicated. It's just we have a little more complexity in here. This is not likely to be it. So what would your first thought would be? Well, that's awful shallow. Could be, right? Of course it could be. But what's more probable? Well, if I've got a WX and I don't do this because I didn't do that, right? So you might have been thinking, hey, ABC, well, if that were the low here, what am I expecting the market to do, right? 1, 2, big 3, right? So if this is going to be done, if this is the 1, 2, I'm looking for my 3. Well, I sure am going to feel better about getting into that 3 with a deeper retracement. Again, there is no requirement that the market do that, right? What is the...
He said that chart was from a long-term entry made a month ago. So I think it's just long-term. Want to make sure he gets in.
Okay. It's not, I like Money Crypto gives me an update here because I'm just staring at the chart. Yeah. I was wondering why that would have been your entry, right? So you're already long. So, well, here's what I would tell you. You got a really reasonable location here. If this WXY plays, right, to add to that position, assuming you're not already a little, heavier than you'd like, and you have some dry powder. If you like this long-term, right, this is like pretty much right by the book, right? And you did all the work here. So now, see, that's interesting, right? So now, if it's per your channel here, so we can probably take this one off, right? So you got that nice, clean, self-contained, right? You always want them. This is something, right, to look for, right? And this has been a little bit of a struggle with Bitcoin, right? So when they go like this, if I can complete that, I want that to be self-contained. What I don't want is a 4 that comes way off to the side, where I get something like this, where I go, oh fuck, come here. Or I get 1, 2, 3, and then I've got this big 4 here like that, right? If I can complete it here, I want to call that a completed impulse, so that whatever's happening next is correcting that completed impulse. Careful about the big, well, okay, for the sub count right here, I've got to have my 4 is going to be way the hell out of here, right? So look at that very, very sharp, simple, abrupt, right? So if I get something that's a little more complex here, it's much more likely to be relative to the 2 than this 2, right? So this all completes, right? So that right there, hey, heads up. So here's a good one, right? If you're an ES, I've got a shitload of this, so I probably wouldn't add here. I've been sitting in this for 2 years. This would be a reasonable place if PK. I don't know how much size you have here, but if you're looking for something, EOS has been a huge laggard across the space, right? So, question mark as to whether or not you want it. But if you're looking, here's what I do. I just set an alert right here, right? I put it on that 3 pivot, right? The prior 3, 4 down a degree, reasonable spot to put it. I'd put an alert there. If it comes down there, I'm going to come here and look real hard. Say, do I like it enough to take it? Of course, right? Off of this, right? Depending on where I get that pivot, right? Okay, let me keep moving because I go way too long. Okay, good work, Pete. Okay.
We're going to pause for a second. We have 2 more donations, and let's just get those done.
Oh, thanks, guys. Love donations.
First one is going to be ALEPH, ALEPH, against the dollar at KU
Okay,
coin.
let me get rid of these here. So give it to me one more time.
ALEPH, USDT at KU coin.
You say KU? I thought it was Qcoin. I should have known
KU. Hell if I know.
Is that how you're supposed to say it? KU coin?
I don't fucking know.
I've always looked at it and said, oh, it's Qcoin, but maybe it is KU coin.
I don't know.
Okay.
Who knows what it means?
Is this who's our YouTube sub who's made this donation? Are you in or are you looking to get in? That always kind of helps me if I know that.
It's an anonymous user, so they may not reply, but
That's right. That's right. So right off the bat, you look at this and I've never even heard of this coin. A lot of wicks, right? So that tells you, liquidity is a question mark here, right? So what causes those wicks, right? So lack of liquidity, right? So you get these big spikes like that. So right off the bat, I'd be a little tenuous about that. Okay, so when I see all those wicks here, often the first thing I want to do, and Money Crypto does the same thing, we would look here and say, okay, let me look at the closes here. Okay, can I work through a 5 here? Do I have, all right, is that enough to get me started? Well, the basic shape is pretty good. No, this looks like this. Well, that looks like a clear ABC, right? So again, just ignoring the wicks. Well, there's a clear 3 right here. Well, look how nicely this helps you, right? So compare the two, right? That where you're going, oh, fuck, what do I do with that? To this, right? Where now, oh, hey, okay, I can see the 3 here. I can sure as hell see that 3. Boy, is that 5 clear as a bell. A, B, C. A, B, C. Well, this fucks you a little bit here, right? Because you're tempted to want to go 5 there, but you can't really. So you'd have to do, oh God, that's a bummer right there. I was just out of curiosity. Is that did you get any help there? Not really. So you'd have to do this as A. That's ugly. Oh, maybe you'd have to do it this way, A, B, C. Right? So you've got kind of an ugly count here, right? So this is what you'd be stuck with. Not a great finish, but you can't. I mean, this is such a clear 5. That's clearly corrective. 1, 2, 3, right? So it wouldn't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Wouldn't be that, right? So you're kind of stuck with the WXY into that low. Oh, just kind of wick that off. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we get any improvement coming out this way, right? Again, the giant wicks just kind of fuck you up. 2. Let's see here. So if I had to do it here, I'd 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see, you got an overlap here, which is kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Unless you're going to get this here, it might work better like this. 1, 2. Jesus, you got overlap no matter what you do it, however you do it. Let's try and stay here. 2. Well, it looks like it wants to go up, doesn't it? Those are a bitch. 1, 2. You don't want this to overlap here, so you'd have to go 1, 2. You can't ignore them. It's just this can sometimes help you identify it, but you can't go, well, that's annoying, right? Because it overlaps here. So my thought would be to 1, 2. Jesus, you can't. Boy, those wicks are brutal. So you might have to do this as an ABC. To maybe that's how we solve it. We'd have to do it as a diag. A, B, C. So this would hold as your 3. A, B, C. That might work. Same idea here. I want this to all be self-contained. Well, this is an ugly chart, right? So my guess is if you're in this, whoever made this request, it's more a fundamental story. You like the story rather than you like the chart, would be my guess. Because with all of that wick action, if I was just flipping through charts and this came up, I would be here for maybe 4 or 5 seconds before I'd say, well, why take the risk in something like that? So my guess is you're in it because you like the story. So best case here, maybe we can work some sort of leading diag into this. Oh, A, B, C. So, okay. So it might work, right? So you got this as your low here per this A, B, C, but now, it seems to have a tendency to want to do one of these. So that A, B, C is clear here. So this has to be 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's go to an 8. Okay. So let's fully label it up, right? So this would have to be the A, B, C to get you to this 4 if we're not going to complete the whole thing here, which you might. I might change that on the fly. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so so you see, I'm kind of looking to say, is this a better candidate for a 2 rather than a 4? 1, 2, 3. 4, A, B, C. You might have to do it that way. So you bring this down here, because now I think as I look at this looks better as a diag. or I should say this looks better as a 2. So where the hell did my 5 go? Oh, where'd you go? There you are. I might do it that way. So that this is all self-contained. Let's just make sure I'm not going to get this wrong here on the fly. Plenty. Okay, so we got a 1271382 here. You'd have to just sideways. That's really all you can come up with here. You do get an overlap, so you got to live with that. So you'd have to be thinking A, B, C to get that done. So 3 longer than 1, 5 longer than 3. So I get that leading diag, A, B, C. So I like this better as a 2. So here's one test reaction, secondary test right to the golden zone reaction. I'm not in log scale. So if I'm labeling this here now, I'm thinking 1, 2. Looks like that could have more to go, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's what I would be anticipating. You got a big rejection wick right here. So the fact that that's coming up and bumping into that tells me there's likely algo resistance right there. Now let's tighten you up. That's within a tick or two, right? So what are we doing here? Just in an algo box, right? So here's the 707 on either side, which is what, if I'm trading golden zone, I very often will use the 707 as my stop, right? Because you're not giving it all the way to the 786. So there's the 3, right? So here's the 5. It's kind of ugly and wicky, but at least coming off of this low, I can get a leading diag. Again, right? What is the market supposed to do? I get a deep 2 here, right into the golden zone, 1, 2, and I'm testing again. So there's that classic, okay, is a bunch of supply going to dump into the market here? Does it? Well, let's say, all right. So where's it go? Right to where you would, so where are you anticipating the market's going to run into resistance, right? There's always an algo on the other side. Looks to me like this went twice. Right, so here's second. So 50 to the tick, right? Very common on the B, 50 to the tick. Now, if it's not going to go again and go golden zone, the fact that that's a straight, boy, just blows right through first target, right to second, where it bumps into the lower golden zone, gets the reaction. Do you see how that just the algos just kick these things around? Now, is that the 3? Well, it doesn't look like that would be done, does it? It looks like you'd have, again, I'm just kind of working backwards. So you'd probably have to dig the 1, 2 out there. So you can work backwards and say that looks like the 4. So that, right, if that breaks here, well, then you'd have a real confirm that you had the 3 in, because you would have broken the algo resistance. So if you can break that into and so you get so working backwards, that's the 5. The 4, the 3, probably the 1, 2 is down here. So now I know I've got a 3 up here. Again, you got a lot of wick rejection up here, right? So that's going to be a battleground, right? People that sold here are going to sell it again there. They're going to defend that. If they get wicked out, right? If they can't do it, right? Well, then it's just game on, right? So right now I get a slightly higher high here, right? Now I get I get a slightly higher low. Now I get a higher high. Is that a low? Well, it would be a higher low. Not. So again, what am I anticipating the market to do here? To give me a 5, right? And to give me a significant 5, right? Right, same, right? Don't guess about it. Don't say, well, it kind of looks like that's enough for a 3, right? Use the tools. Right. So if I just get that right there, I'd be like, well, there's where I'm anticipating that 3. All right, maybe I'll get something like that. So if I get that, then I know I've got a good 3, because I'm breaking the golden zone. So I'm breaking the sell side resistance here. Gives me the 3 right where I'm looking for it, right in the pocket, right where all that wick rejection is. Right. I mean, damn near to the tick, right? You're right there saying, okay, what did it do last time it got there? So I wouldn't be shocked if I got a little kickback there, which leads to the 4, which leads to the 5. Oh, something just kicked right there. While did you see that? Well, talk about a wick. Did you see that just pop up there? That's why I'd be a little careful here. So on something like this, well, you can see it moving here while I'm doing this in real time. So somebody's in there buying, but that's, do you see, this is on an 8-hour. That's kind of erratic movement. This strikes me as an illiquid asset. So I would keep my analysis up here on the longer time frame here. I'd be very cautious about getting caught into the, take it down to the 1 hour and below. Boy, you're going to have all sorts of issues here. Well, here you can kind of see the 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be your 3 A, B, C into the 4. So this is trying to complete that 3, right? So it looks like it already broke the 6. It looked like it just broke the golden zone. Didn't it? Right? It looks like it just broke it. Oh, yeah, that's a turtle head, right? Just enough, right? Just see if you can see that. Assuming I'm right on it. Am I right on that? Yep, that's a little break, right? So you kill it. Now that's not enough to where I'd be like sell it, but the advantage now goes bulls, right? So you don't get another sell side until you get this, right? Then you would have the potential for that sell side, right? But you don't have the larger dominant, right? Algo. I got this right here. Now it's a little bit better, right? So you can see the break here. So I lose that resistance. So there, no sell side algo is in play until I get something like this. Then it would be here, right? So that's an important distinction. You understand how this algo works. It's not like they long it here, but you aren't going to get another sell side until you get that, right? So if this were to complete the 3 up here and we start on the 4 or the 2 or whatever it ends up being, you don't get a sell side until you get that, right? So you need a new high, a swing down, and then a retrace where now you'd pick up a sell side. But it doesn't have that same target down here that this one does, right? Way down here. It doesn't have that target. So you're losing the big gun trying to take it down here, right? You just end up with the small one that's trying to take it right here, which would take it to right here. So if it does that, now you look, you see how it's funny how the market has a logic to it. Oh, if it came back down to here, where might it, right? Prior resistance could become the support. You can kind of piece the thing together where you end up, it just is what I was describing earlier. You end up where you can say, I can now make a deduction here based on this price action that I can make a conclusion here, an intelligent, informed decision about what I would anticipate the market to do next if this analysis is correct. If this, then that. Okay, I hope that helped. All right, so tricky one, right? So again, I'm just a hunch. You're trading this because you like the story. What's the other one, Money?
Well, we just got another one, but they both requested MKR, which is Maker. MKR
Maker,
USDT.
I know well. I have some of this. Maker to the tether. We got an exchange preference.
They both just say USD, so I wonder what the longest. You might go to Bitfinex.
When I bring it up here, doesn't it give me the highest volume always first? I'm pretty sure it does.
That I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it does.
You could try it and just see how much data you've got to work with.
Well, pardon me. It won't give me the longest history, but it'll give me the highest volume.
Right.
Okay, so let's go out to Maker, right? So I'm familiar with this chart because I have some of this. All right, well, let's just do it it's independent of that, right? It doesn't matter what I have. I've had this forever. Okay. Well, just right off the bat, just looking at that, let's see. So what's our range here? Wow, this is pretty good range here. Jesus Christ, did we get up to 63? Wow, that's pretty nice. Okay, well just kind of eyeballing things. So this is obviously important to the market. Well, you kind of just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go log here just to see if that helps me a little bit down here. Sometimes it's going to log isn't necessarily you would complete the analysis there, but it'll open up what's down below. Right? So it can be easier to spot this. So let's see, is there an alternate there? 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's the completed impulse here. So this is what I'm kind of trying to encourage you guys to look for, right? Can I complete it all self-contained, right? That's all self-contained to me, to my eye. So I see a completed impulse there. So what do I do with the beginning here? So it has to be at a higher degree. So I would think 1, 2, looks like you got some sort of expanded B here. So it looks like it's W, X, A, B, C into that 2 to give you that Y. So that would be 3, 4, 5. Now let's take that up a degree. Okay. I mean, these are, I mean, there's, for someone watching here, if you're going through this process, the little nuggets I can give you here is, this is one here. So you wouldn't want to put this, as this being the 4 relative to this 3. If I see a self-contained impulse here, I want to contain that within the structure that I'm doing. So I've got 1 here. This is kind of a sideways 2. This is making it a little tricky here, because it almost looks like you could finish this here. You would have a slight truncation here. You might do it that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Boy, you get a shitty finish. But I think that plays better as the 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3, 4, 1, 2. Oh shit, that's not a great finish either. So you have to do it this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that gives you your 5 here. This is just force of habit stuff that I do, right? So now I can look at that and say, all right, I know where all that clear support is. So if we were to ever come back down here, I know where I'm interested. Okay, now I'm going to take this. We certainly have the range to stay in log. I might keep this in log here. Let's just check it. Well, if that's completed, I'm a little shallow there. I'm a little deeper than I want to be there. So it's 4 to 1. You definitely, what's our low here? 422. So we went from 429 to 6,200. That is definitely log scale range. Oh, I know why I've got that, because I'm still with, I've got PKS and Venda's chart structure. Okay, well, we can look at this and just looking at that, that sure looks like, let's put the whole thing together. I go here. Let me do it this way. Let's do it that way. Well, that's the same. Okay, so this looks to me like you've got a B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got an A, B, C here. Looks like you got to truncate this, right? So if I go to this as it's done here. So now, why would I say that? Because I'm working backwards from this. So it would have been very easy to think A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, right? That's what what is the market supposed to do? Well, if this is the correction off of this impulse here, I'm looking for that 3, 4. Now, this is what I was looking for, right? Doesn't do it. So just now I'm approaching this as though you were looking at it for the first time, right? Is there a trade here? Well, my first thought would be say, well, maybe not yet, right? So I would like this, right? So just using the norms, not necessities. It's not, inevitable that the market comes down this low here. And you can kind of, you start to put some things together. Okay, the prior 3, 4 down a degree. All right, well, that's a common area for this to come back to. So I might do it like this and say, okay, well, here's where I'm anticipating that retest. Okay, base building. Got a big launch here. Here's the classic, right? This is why you got to be careful about buying breakouts. Okay, what's the better way to approach this? Oh, we're coming back into, look at the wick rejection here, right? So is that a bunch of supply going to come in here? Doesn't come. I come out of that. So now I can work backwards and go, oh, okay, I see the whole thing. Now, this is a pretty sharp correction. And again, it looks like, all right, so this was a bit of a tell here. So we broke the sell side here. Now note, we break the sell side. So there is no algo driving this down to that target here, right? Because this guy gets broken. Now, this guy here. Now, this is a little bit of a judgment call. Remember, the algo doesn't care whether I'm calling this an ABC, right? It's just going to use dominant to dominant. So you're kind of stuck here. You'd have to check both of them. So where it's worse is if it holds here and it breaks here. Now you got a conundrum. But because I know the algorithm doesn't care, oh, I got a truncated 5. It doesn't give a shit, right? So it's just going to use dominant to dominant, right? So these are the two dominants that I have in front of me, the highest high, the highest low. Boom. Now, because I get that, what do I have here, right? So the same kind of thing. You'd have to do both of these, right? Now, I'm looking for a correction, so I'm going to put that into shift. All right, so here, right, we just miss it here. But if I get down here, now, right in the pocket. Oh, I'd want volume profile on that. Let's get that up. So we can do visible range. That's fine. All right, so I got a little node right here that might be of interest. Bring that forward. Now let's put that in green. Oh man, that's not gonna. I want that center color. There we go. Okay, so I've got a nice target down here. So I've got this kind of setting up for me here. So here's my dominant. Here I come. No, not the 618. Golden zone, right? Now that's a little fucker, right? So that's just what a tease, right? Seriously, I can't get there. Makes me think I might have these off. And I do, is often the case when you're moving from time frames. All right, so that looks good. Let's just double check that. It's worth doing this if this is your chart, right? And then once you get them dialed in, then lock it. Right, then you don't have to fuck with it. Okay, so that looks like that's right there. Okay, so that's a little bit disconcerting, right? Because you want it to tag that, right? So failure, remember, trading principle number 4, failure to make the mean line. Now, this is a little different, right? Because we're in a corrective structure here. But that sure looks like a 5, doesn't it? So if indeed, or so, okay, so here, again, another example, here's the value of Elliott. So here's a 3. So why not 1, 2? Well, if it's 1, 2, right? So potentially you could say, hey, well, I sure as hell can see a 5 in here. Whoa, I got a nice 5. But if it's WXY, right? So if this is A, B, C, and we're going to truncate here, this is all wicks. So when the wicks are where you could, a little easier to allow for that. And I get a double bottom here. And I'm at these prior wicks. Okay, so I get an ABC. Well, if this is correct, right now, you've got to have some confidence in your own analysis here. If this is correct, I know for a fact that I cannot finish with a 5. Right, per Elliott rule set and guidelines, right? What am I looking for here? I'm looking for an A, B, C, right, to give me the Y. So what is the market supposed to do here? If this is a WXY, it's supposed to give me a 5. Does it give me the 5? Right? A. Now it's supposed to, right? If this analysis is going to hold, give me a nice, pretty 3 right here, right? And I can look at all this structure here. Look at all this I got to work with. I can look at all that and say, well, boy, if it does that and it comes right to where it was rejected. So there was the first attempt rejected. Support breaks. Here's the retest, right? You see the little retest here. Oh, can we come back here? Because, bulls were saying, oh, can we take it back up? And where they run into that structure here, nope, can't do it. Falls even harder, right? So all those stops get triggered, down it goes. Now I'm looking for that 3. So if I get that 3, if I get this, that's a low risk area to be a seller. Now, it depends, right? If you're, I don't know if he's in this or not, but so you'd say, can I add something more there? What else might be there? Right, you see, right? So now I don't know for a fact that's the hard low here, but it's interesting that I don't make the median line, right? So the market is talking to me a little bit like, oh, it should have made the median line. Doesn't, right? So I'm anticipating a retrace back here, and I can just kind of put that all together and say, well, if it comes back into that zone here, I'm interested for the short because I know this, per this analysis context, that can't be the low unless I'm absolutely back-ass wrong here. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Then this would be A, B. And if this is going to be C, well, we're not going to be done here. Right? It's going to be 1, 2, or we could, right? Pardon me, I shouldn't say that, because you could have a truncation here. So this could be A, B, C, and we finish with the 5 here. I would lean into that a little harder if we had made that median line. But your anticipation here is there's no reason to change your analysis here until something else happens here. If I get that, different story. Oh, well, then I was wrong. Okay, so on the assumption and the understanding, as any trader has to make peace with, you're going to be wrong more than you're right. right? You have to embrace that and not fight that, right? Doesn't mean you say, well, fuck it. I'm going to be wrong more than I'm right, so I'll just take the trade. No, you're going to do all the analysis that you can possibly factor into it. And you're still, right? It's just the nature of trading. Oh shit, something happened to Maker, off it goes. Well, I guess I was wrong. So assuming that, make damn sure when you're wrong, you're not doing something stupid like, I'm going to give it to the golden zone. Because you see what you're doing here. You're saying, okay, it's supposed to pivot here and then take me down. If it comes up higher here, well, then this analysis is likely incorrect, especially if I get a 5 here. Well, then I'd be back thinking, well, I'll be damned. Maybe that is ABC here. Well, if that's the case, well, then I had an unusual correction. If it were to go up here in a 1 and say, okay, I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I get an impulse that comes out of that, well, then I've got to work backwards. Say, okay, well, that was it. What are the choices here of what could be going on? Well, I suppose you could have the X could be higher up here. You could have W, X, Y could still happen, but you'd be losing all the benefit here now would be gone, right? So you'd here. Remember, trading principle number 4. If this doesn't pivot up here, it's telling you, right? Trading principle number 4: a failure to make the median line leads to a move equal to or greater than the swing that failed to get there. So if this is going to give me a 5 here, I'm anticipating a break of that pivot, right? Per trading principle number 4. Now these are not universal laws. These are tendencies. If it doesn't make the median line, that's pretty damn close. It's giving me context and guideline. Oh, if it comes up here and we do that, well then, that's something else happened there. So now I can say, I guess the C was in here and it was an A, B, C, and I'm going to try. So I get up. Well, it wouldn't be enough. Something unusual has happened here. So because that is really the tell here, the fact that we went perfectly into a 3 via that. So market's going to do things that you're going to say, well, it was supposed to do. All right, see, that's the tell, right? So it's supposed to do the 3, 4 and come down to the side. It doesn't do it. Something else is going on. So I have to completely reevaluate the analysis. What it's supposed to do. It's not what it does. It's what it's supposed to do and doesn't. That's my theme for the week. Do you think we got that covered there? I think that covered.
Yeah, I think so. One person did say Maker USD on Coinbase changes the count, but I don't. You did more lower time frame, so all it does is starts from lower.
Start down here lower.
Yeah, it starts from $21, so potentially just a 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't know. It starts from $21, so wouldn't change too much.
Wait, well, if this is still the impulse, right? None of this, right? If this is still something starts here, right? Because I get a completed impulse. So that being the case, nothing would change here. I'd still be looking to be I'm me personally. I'm long already, so I wouldn't be a seller here. I'd be looking for that to be a location to be a buyer. Yeah. Right. If I got W, X, and the Y, right? If I get the ABC comes down here, if I can get something like that, well, boy, I'm sure I'm interested right here, right, with that high volume, right, to come in right down here. If we get that opportunity, boy, you don't have to sit here with a limit order, but right, so you might anticipate some resistance. There's the trade right there. Boom. All right, now we're coming out of here. Now the whole thing completed. I know where I am. I see the geometry. I got an algo target. I'm right in the pocket where I'm looking for it. I'm at a high volume node. So all the pieces come together. You take the trade. And you don't sweat it, right? You say, okay, I've done the analysis. If this happens, well, something else is going on and I'm wrong here, but I'm not going to blow you're not going to hurt me, right? Because I'm not going to do something stupid like put my stop down here. Right? Most of the time, things that we do that get us into trouble, these are all self-inflicted, right? Because we don't want to take the stop. Always better to take the small stop and reload. Go again, right? If it looks better, like, oh shit, I got out too early, right? Be careful of that. You did what you did. Right now, if you can learn from that, great. But don't beat yourself up. Woulda, shoulda, coulda kills more traders than anything else because it affects your psyche the next time. Well, the last time I coulda, if I had just moved the stop down, I wouldn't have taken that loss. So I'm just going to give it a little more room. Well, as soon as you do that, it's like the market knows. It'll It'll punish you, right? The market punishes mistakes always. Oh, if not the first time, eventually it'll punish you for that. Well, I could have, man, I would have made a fortune if I had just given that more room. Careful about that, right? Again, I completely understand it because I've done it so many times that I don't do. It takes so much pain to get to the point where you go, oh, fuck, I'm never doing that again, ever, under any circumstances. Take the little loser, reevaluate, right? Because you can make 3 times as much if you get it right. Or, hey, oh, I got stopped out again. Oh, shit. All right, something else is going on here. I'm gonna wait for clarity. Maybe I get a 5 here. I'm like, holy shit, maybe that was just a big A, B, C. And I get my C down here at the golden zone. So what did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm thinking this was just a big A. Oh, fuck. A, B, C. Never get those. A, B, O. I got the median line at the golden zone. Now, see, if you were here and that was happening and you're over here, we brought this up, you'd see like, oh, God, well, that was drop dead simple. Here's the 5. Here's the A. Here's the B. Here's the C. Right? It's so easy in hindsight. You'd be over here saying, oh, well, what was hard here, man? You're expecting that. But right now, as it sits right here, you don't have enough to say that. What you're looking for is this to finish down here. Welcome to trading, right? It's always an incomplete picture. If we could have a complete picture, well, to be a different story, right? Everybody be rich, right? Because we don't have a complete picture. We can only forecast what is probable here based on what's come before. That's the whole point of Elliott Wave. All right, did I get all the requests done?
Yes, all the requests are good. So just keep on with all after right. EOS.
Hope I gave you a few things to think about. But you can see how that would be. It wouldn't be the Y, it would be the C over here. Right? If it does that, you're down here saying, well, that was simple. There's the 3, right into the golden zone. Okay, let me keep moving. PK I handled. Here's a new one I don't recognize. Frayed 57. I don't know if he's a new member or no, I just don't recognize that handle. That's how I get to know members. Oh, well, my guess is new member. Let's see here. Let's try again. If you're a new member, sometimes it's a little tricky to know how to do this so I can get the chart. All right. So he wanted XTZ USDT. Let me just try and do that. Oh, fuck. Here, let's see if I can do it. XTZ USDT. I want symbols. And did he want this on, I don't know what index he wanted. Oh, shit. I got PKS of Vendas. Oh, that's all right. That'll work. I don't know what this is. It looks like it's wave. Looks like wave trend with just variations on it. I think that's what that is. All right. So Frayed 57. I think look in this channel, Frayed 57. I think Money Crypto has a pinned tweet in here that shows you how to post so I can grab it and work with it. Okay, so, but I can get to what you wanted here. So he wanted Tezos to the dollar, Tether. Oh, this is a bear. I've looked at this chart. Okay, so it feels like there's more history. You think? Okay, so here's the COVID low. Oh, that's kind of gnarly, isn't it? Well, okay. So this looks to me, so just at broad strokes, looks like that's a 3 with a pretty deep, right? So could we be going into a 5 there? Well, we haven't overlapped there. It's kind of an ugly count. So you got so much overlap here that, so that has to be 1, 2. All right, so let's here. Oh shit, what's our range here? We might be able to do that. No, it's not going to be any better. Let's stay in log. I think we're good here. So where do we go from $1? Well, we got 9 times the range. So let's stay in log. Oh, I'm going to get rid of that because it screws me up down here. Okay, so there's the clear 3 into the COVID low. So we got to deal with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what I'm seeing in a very large diag. Although I got a feeling there's more history here. Okay, let's just do a little measuring. All right, and there's the 2. All right, very common for in a diag to not get the 1618, to get the 127. These are kind of sloppy. So this would just be a big ABC. A, B, C. Looks like that could work. Although you're going to have to do this 1, 2 here, because that's your 4. Well, that's kind of ugly, but looks like you could have an ending diagonal there to get that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you can get your C here. Jesus, that's ugly. Probably have to do, no. Well, shit, let's simplify. A, B, C, A, B, C. That's a 5. B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 4 looks good. All right, so I think you got just a giant leading diag here. So just a hunch. Just a hunch. We're going to stay technical here. All right, so this is where you look. So that's, shit that just stands out in your face, right? Coincidences that are not coincidences, right? So where's the high volume node here? Now we've got the same kind of thing here. Well, here's our POC. So looks to me like this is just one giant diag that's going in. Got a reasonable target up here. Well, that looks like that's 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like that's A. Looks like you're kind of stuck with that. You're looking for that C to finish that. Okay, well, we can do a few things here. Right, for a good leading diag, we want 5 to be longer than 3. So we can take this distance here and project it from this. So now we get a good target here for our 5th. Oh, and add a little sweetener on it. Do I get this, if that's going to hold as my B? And this is tempting to think 1, 2, but this already looks like 1, 2, 3. So I need to finish with a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets me up here. That's not going to be deep enough, but let's just check if that looks, maybe it's a 38. Okay. 1, 2. So if I put that all together, since this is a little bit of a 1, 2, 1. You wouldn't want to do that. So I would, let's label it. All right. So if this is me right here, I'm thinking 1, 2. I want that 3, 4, 5 to come out of there. Let's take you down and take you up. Okay. So that's what I'd be looking for right there. Right, all of this to complete, to give me that big ABC to finish that leading diag off of the low. So, I mean, the first tell, right, again, it's just you got all this overlap, right? These swings are so giant. And because, do you see the process there? Okay, so first you bring it up and you're like, holy shit, what, look, I mean, you got all these overlaps here. So immediately your first thought is, well, some sort of diagonal, right? So a diagonal is the big, push of turning a trend around here. So even here, I mean, you had this pretty nice, big impulsive move up here, although you'd have to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can, it all kind of, you start to put it together. You're like, but this all starts to come together. All right. So I can certainly see the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So I've got a nice ABC into the 1, A, B, C. It looks like A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. Right. With clear targets up here as to what you're trying to get to. I think that does it. I don't see another way to count that. Because, well, note here, so what's happening here? So off the swing, right? So we get a higher high, right? And retrace. Now I get a higher high here, retrace, higher low, higher high, retrace, higher low, right? So that's how you can start to piece the thing together, right? Swing, okay, can I get a 5? Retrace, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that whole diagonal just kind of fills itself in. As you work through it, it just starts to go, okay, I completely get where this is. Yeah, I think that's. I don't see any alternate here other than that, right? So okay, here's the classic. What is the market supposed to do now? It's supposed to give me a 5 to finish this. That would be a big overthrow on the 5, but based on what we're seeing here, the depth of this. Well, here's the big one. Here's the secondary one. Pretty good target up here. That's I think your best way to approach that right here. So if you could certainly, God, I wouldn't realize we just broken that pivot. Okay, so there's a really shitty place to enter the market. All right. Why? So, right, I'm assuming you guys know, right? I would tell you that we talked about this a little bit before. You don't want to enter the market at that location. Now, maybe that's not much of a break here. You really don't have a great. Oh, I suppose you might look at some of this structure right in here. You want that to get a little further than so here already, right? So the stops that were there were run, right? As you can see, they run the stops. Okay, now if it stabilizes here, you'd have to look at that internal 1, 2, ABC, 1, 2. 1, 2. Wouldn't quite say it's there yet. Here's the target. You could start to add some structure to it. With that original, there it is. All right, so nice self-contained. You want that to keep driving, but you're at a kind of a shitty spot, right? So really, you wanted to be long a little bit sooner because you're stuck now buying. If you're not in, all right. So let's bring this over here. That's not much of a test. So really, the only thing you can really see here is they ran the stops, right? And now you're getting a little retrace just to piss those people off. All the people that said, oh, man, it's not going to get that, right? The shorts that say, well, they're not going to get that. So they just get bent over, right? So there's the classic, I try and teach this in our S&P room every day, right? These are the worst places to enter the market, right? Now, if you can get in a little bit below, so you come into it with some profit, different story, right? And then you can sustain. You can wait and see, all right, do we hold here? Do you see this over here, right? We're starting to build up a little bit of a base here. Okay, it's not a lot, right? That's log scale, but you start to see it here a little bit better. 1, 2, right? Well, let's see if we take it out of log. Is it any better here? And the only reason I'm doing that, because now I'm looking at a distance from, call it $4 to 8.5, right? So I don't have 4 times the range. So I can kind of zoom in a little bit here and take it out of log scale. Okay, 1, 2, that looks like that's beyond the golden zone. It looks like it might be a 707. Here, right? So, shit. Well, I'm just going to put it right on that pivot. All right, so we're below the golden zone here, but still, it's a good 1, 2. And considering I got, whoa, shit, look here. Do you see what just happened there? I've got that right on there. Which I think I do. Okay, so we got a little bit sloppy down here, but look what we just pinged. Well, we got it actually right here. So there's your, and again, I can't pull the trigger for you guys here. Right? Well, once I get this corner, 80%. So there it is, right? You're just getting another revisit right here. So the fact that, so we burned this already, right? So now, you can kind of understand how all of this shitty place to be entering the market, right? So you're at that prior pivot structure. You're at this prior pivot right here. So we ran the stops there. Now, does it hold? Right? Can we hold here? If it does, then I think you could take it, but where's your stop, right? You've done a straight line here. So it becomes a little bit of a, Well, I suppose you'd have to use the wave one high, right? You'd have to use this as your stop, right? On the assumption that that prior resistance will hold it for support. 1, 2. All right. So is there enough there? That's how I would view it. Okay. So if I were entering here, I'm still looking for this as my target, the 1618. I know I've got a possible algo target there. So if I go here, if I'm going to give that a little bit of a cushion. Okay. Well, there's 4 to 1. So I'd be kind of mindful of, hey, do I get something deeper here to get into that? If this starts to stall, if we hold here, I suppose that could be your 3, right? We've gone long enough, right? It's the second most common location. 1, 2, we're going to do the 1, 2, 7, 1, 3, 8 just beyond this. Well, if it holds here, then it should be kind of a, right, like something. We don't want this to drop too far, because then you can see the next, right? Often it'll be right to the ledge of this, which would be right here. Well, now you're thinking, oh, am I going to overlap here where I'm going to kill the idea I've got an impulse? I don't want that, right? I want that to keep going, because I want this to be a 1, 2. So this becomes kind of your line in the sand to hold this count. Can I hold that? Now, if you enter it here, you could be even tighter here. When the market's coming down, I wouldn't enter it with that much where it's that close. I would wait until I got a little bit of a kick, because otherwise you're just too close, right? So you'll get wicked out there. So I would do that. And if I get the reaction there, because often the market will do that, right? The buyers will defend here just in front of that. If you get that, now I could take that. Now I like that a little bit better. So that would bring it up here. And then I would put the stop there. Now, even if I just get that algo target, well, there's 3, minimum for me would be 3 to 1. All right. So it's there. Nothing says it has to stop there, but you can see how, oh, wait, I got an algo target. I'm at the 1618 from the 13. I can see how that would be a reasonable spot for that to stop. So do I want to take full profit there? Well, maybe. If it does it, of course, you're anticipating that it's just going to start this, right? Do you want to give any of that back? It's up to the individual trader here, but that's if you get 4 to 1, nothing wrong with that. All right, I hope that helped, Trade 57. Over here. Let's see if Bitcoin broke. It looked like, so we're there. That's out of log scale. We're breaking the 707. So it's starting to, it looks like that 5 is starting to go. All right, let me keep moving. Rex. I haven't seen Rex in a while. File USD is a sexy bitch if it works out. Oh my God, the language. Hopefully she won't cheat on my ass. Oh man, Rex. Well, we've missed you. All right, let me bring back what Rex got here. All right, let's see this sexy bee. Apologies to any gals that might be listening, take offense. Oh, you're giving me a 3-day? Whoa, you're giving me a big one here. Okay. Okay, file USD. Okay, so entry at 55 sounds like you're in. Okay, let's push this over. So if I keep it simple, I can count 7 waves down. All right, I'm going to just hide that for a second. Okay, so this is, Jesus, man, this is a brutal. This is just, what do you do with that? Well, we get a clear low down here. It gets tested repeatedly. All right. Let's see what else he's saying here. I'm playing in the channels and algos, looking at the Vegas wave and volume profile. Let's see that. Let's get this over here. Okay, I see what he's got. Bearish alternative is a big ABC. So this is looks like, well, you didn't label it for me. Okay, so it looks like you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be my guess. All right, so let's 1, 2, 3. Yep, so that's 4-ish. So this has to be 1, 2. I guess that works. All right, so we can go 1, 2, 1, 2, oh God, can you make that work? 1, 2, 3, ABC into the 4. Check, check. Okay, so this is his checklist here. Okay, so this is, we come right up to the 23 off of this. Here's the next algo. Oh shit, this is a little tough. Okay, let me go to a daily here so I can break in a little bit better. Okay, so 3. So there's his golden zone here on the daily. All right, so we're coming off of this swing. All right, so here, now that I can see it, these are a little tricky to see when it's not your chart. Okay, so that is that golden zone relative to this swing. And this one, we've already got the break here. So I'm going to pull that one out just here. Let me not do that. Let me hide that. Okay, so this is deeper, but we've got a good candidate for the 2, and now we've got a nice reaction. So the 3 comes in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1. Let's go down a little bit. Okay, so this is kind of gnarly. So it looks like you got to go WXY. So, oh, maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can go A, B, C into the 2. So they're okay. Good can. And we go right into the golden zone. So I'm assuming you guys see that swing high right to the golden zone here. So we've got golden zone followed by golden zone followed. Now this is a little bit deeper, but if it's 1, 2, we're going up to the 3. Okay, this is a sexy little bitch. All right, so nice geometry here. So note the number of pings that we're getting off of that, right? So it's get more confidence. So we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pings of that. So this, oh, I bet he's got this somewhere in the settings. A little skinnier than you'd like, right? Remember if they go out in further in time, but that's a little skinny. So you could get this really quickly. You'd rather see that come out of here and do something like this and then go get it right up to the golden zone. So what do we have here? It's just something you see across every market all the time. We're just in a golden zone box, right? So it's just a little algo fight between two competing pieces of software, right? So again, I can just put it in front of you, let you draw your own conclusions, but pretty clear what's going on there. So you've got 2 things here going on here. So you have 80% on both sides. You say, well, how do you have 80% on both sides? Well, right, one pivot's going to break, right? So if it's this pivot or this pivot, now this pivot here, actually, I've got these drawn. I've got this incorrectly drawn to get our 80%. So this, we've got one golden corner right here, right? Unrealized 80%. I've got this golden corner unrealized here, close, but it didn't get there. So this looks like it's an ABC here, right? Running right into the channel. So interesting. So you've got competing elements of the geometry of the market here fighting for dominance here. So this, we know that's software. This channel support, likely software as well, but it's deeper than you would have anticipated. So we don't have the traditional algo here at our back here. So this has the potential to come down here. Oh, God damn it. Come here. Never get the first click. 1, 2, if that rolls over, right, that would be what he means, disappointing him. All right, so you're kind of stuck here. So how do you make a deduction here? Well, again, we're kind of back to our theme for the day. Well, if this is the 5 that completes the initial impulse off of the low, I'm anticipating 3 to come in. Now, this is not a great looking 3, I got to admit. Now, maybe it's better if we break it down a little bit. Oh, shit, that's kind of gnarly right off the bat. So that looks like a 3. So right off the bat, it looks like A, B, C. All right, so I'd have to do it that way. So A, B, C. So I'd be thinking W, X, A, B, C, Y. Bring that down here. I think you're kind of stuck with that. So here, again, it's kind of where are the 5s, where are the 3s. So this 3 really screams at me, okay, there's the 3 that's correcting this swing. And it looks like it's out of curiosity here. Looks like it's off of that pivot. You'd have a 50 there. Looks like it. Here's the 50. All right, here's the target. I got it here. So you had that little additional little kicker in there. So there's that 50, but it's off of this larger swing. So while it's hitting that 50, that's the 50 relative to this swing high and swing low. So it's not exactly relevant. Okay, WXY into the low, 1, 2. Now it's deep for a 2, but remember a 2 is always a push. Right? You guys have heard me say this many times before, right? Once they're here, they know they're going to be stops down there, right? So they're trying to get there. Well, what stops it, right? Likely it's the trend line. Remember, trend line is just support and resistance, just on an angle. So the support here holds it. Now you could probably talk yourself into saying, okay, well, there was a little structure here, and we're in log scale, so you're not going to see it the same way. Oh, maybe we draw this over. Okay, so I'm going to put this all in here, right? So I've got this prior structure. I might even pull this up a little bit. So prior resistance, support, resistance. Now we're back to, is that going to be the support? Let's go back to my blue there. So it stands out a little bit more. Okay, we're into the prior resistance now. Is that holding a support? Well, now let's just zoom in there a little bit, because you can see it's off to an interesting start. Well, if this is going to be the low, right? If we're going to get our 2 in over here, well, it's not too hard to spot the 1, 2. All right, is that the 3? Well, we don't know that, right? Because it looks like it could be the internal 3 going in. Okay, so a couple of things right off the bat. This is just a good force of habit I just do this every time, right? So, okay, I don't lose track of where's the proposed 1. Okay, 1, 2. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, right. Where are the 3s? Where are the 5s? Right? There's a nice little 3. Now that could be this 3. Could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not much of a finish there. I'm more inclined to think that this is the internal. Oh God, let's just go ahead and do it. 1, 2. That's a little skinny. Well, you're kind of stuck with that, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a double top. You don't get a great finish, right? Elliott's not perfect. Don't expect it to be. Looks like you might be able to work that there, clear 3. So if that's the 3, you'd work from the 2 and say, okay, well, where am I looking for that 4? Right at the 38. All right, so what am I anticipating the market to do? What does it do? Now, if that's going to finish, I'm looking for a 5 up here. All right, that's a good candidate for the 4. All right, so I can look at that now and say, okay, well, that looks like I'm underway in an impulse coming off of the idea that I've got a 2 here. Let's take that up a degree or 2. I've got a good 2 here, 1, 2. So I can look at it and say, this is what the market is supposed to do if this is going to play ball. If I'm going to get a completed impulse here, and here I can just start to really put it together. Okay, well, if that's the, here, I do it this way. Here, so this is our 2. We got a little overthrow here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you could even push it up just a hair. Okay, well, so there's a little underthrow here but as the C on the 4, okay, looks good. So this looks probable to come up here and complete. Now, could you trade it now? Yeah, you could, right? You stops under these lows because you're making an assumption here. The 4 is in. We're going up for the 5. Does that work? Well, is there enough there? Because you're looking for, what are we at? 64 to a reasonable target. Let's call it 78, 80, something up in that range. Now, what are you anticipating after that? You'd be looking for that 3 to come. So you always have this choice when you're evaluating something mid launch off of a 2, right? So if this is the 2, right now, pull back out. If that's the 2. All right, we're looking for a much bigger 3. So we'd have a couple of things working for us here. We'd have failure to make the median line, which would set up a move equal to or greater than, or if I bring this down, failure to make the median line here, right, would be a tell because we know we've got that 80% odds working for us here, right? If it doesn't get there, the market is talking to you, right? Failure to get there sets up a move equal to or greater than. So if that's going to go 1, 2, 3, right, then we fulfilled trading principle number 4. Well, I'll be damned, right? Didn't get there. So the market's talking to me. What am I looking for? 4. I'm looking for 5. Right now, am I done here? Well, maybe. Right, I might have a 3, right, and 1, 2, 3. That's the advantage. Right? So when it makes the 1618, you're reducing the probability, not you're not getting certainty. But the farther this goes, the less likely it is to be an ABC. Right now, still we can have C's that go 1618 or 2618, but it's just less likely. And what's more probable here is that now I have another corner pocket here. Now it's not golden because we broke the golden zone, but I'd get this. Right, so maybe I can get the 3 here, the 4 here, the 5 here. I get my big 3. 1, 2, 3, break the resistance. 4, test from above, all of the ingredients. So how do you know here? You don't know. Why would you even consider making a trade here? Because of the context. Because I can see that I've completed something over here. And I've got a complex, but I've got a strong candidate here. So if I take this one off just to kind of clear up the chart, this one's still very much in play, right? This one up here, this median line is unhit, right? Maybe that's your target for your 5. We get 3, 4, and we're going up to get a 5, right? So it's that 80% stays in play until you get there. I've seen it take 2-3 years and then tag it to the tick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you get that nice, good 3, 4 in for the 5. You're waiting for the 4 prior structure. You guys know the drill, right? So it's the advantage of doing it the same way over and over and over again, right? So if that gets the 4, I know. See, if I were to get the 4 over here, what's the first thing I'm gonna look at? Well, hey, we haven't gotten to that median line yet. Right, so I'd have a target. All right, God, I got to keep going here. What do the markets do?
You got a lot more to do.
Oh, smokes. All right. That's all right. No. I'm glad. I'm glad people are getting some value out of it. Right. It's the point here is just to get some value out of it. Okay. Right. What's next?
Looks like Sol from CZA.
Oh, from CZA. Okay. All right. So, okay. I thought we had another. What are you giving me? No. He'll know. CZA will know how to do it. Copy link. I could do an hour on each of these. It's entirely possible I talk too much. All right, CZA is going to give me something good. All right, so this is a very skilled technician. Right, so he's been with us for a long time. So it's great. I can look at who's posting when I know what I'm in for. But he wasn't this good when he started. He's gotten now. I just love seeing that, right? Because I know he's put all sorts of work into that. Now, so when you guys looking at that, you might think, "Holy fuck, man! How do I make sense of this?" When it's your chart, of course, it makes it a lot easier, right? Because you've done all the work, you know what you did here. It takes me a minute to kind of get a handle on it, where we are here, especially if there are multiple counts. But this is okay. We're coming off of the low here. Here's Solana, right? This probably the hottest crypto project, right? Other than Bitcoin, right? I mean, we just all the fucking NFT craziness. Right. So the fact that we come off of the low here and get an impulse, probably not terribly surprising to anyone. Right. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What would we get here? Okay. So do you see he's got this little pocket. He's drawn the little pocket here. So if this is 1 and this is 2, God, did we get golden zone? Holy, yeah, this wouldn't surprise me that it was that technical. But right, so everybody wants a piece of this. Oh, Jesus. Is that golden zone? It looks like it is. Wow. What a beautiful chart. Oh, looks like we got a slight break here. Well, that's all right. So nice too. We got one little break here on that 618 from this being our low. We got a little wick that got through, but boy, here's first target, second target, third target. So looks like we hold with the 1, 2. So looks like you got to go A, B, C, and the 1, 2. All right. So we come off of. I see what that is. That's his 1618 off of this. All right, I got it. So here's 1, 2, 3 sharp. Sideways 4 into the 5. Okay. This being sharp, this being sideways. You see the nice alternation here? Just again, these people, this is just the kind of chart I love when people say, "Oh, fucking Elliott Wave doesn't work in crypto." They don't understand what Elliott Wave is measuring. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Sideways into the beautiful. Look at how pretty that triangle is, right? When you're like, what the hell? Right? As soon as that pops into my head, first thing, triangle. Nice Vegas wave move here. So we're coming off of this is the 4. Okay, so here's, I'm going to guess I'm sure that's what that is. So he's taking the length of the 1 and he's projecting it from the 4, and here's 100. 127, 138. Assuming that's what that is. See how he's projecting it off of the E here to give us, so we just hit 100, right? Good God, could that get any more perfect? 1, 2, beautiful impulse, 4 into the 5. So we've got an exact, I mean, that's within a tick or two of parity of the 1. So you have a very solid, but you look at it and say, oh man, right? Does that mean that that's done? Well, right. It looks like he's giving you an alternate here where there could be more, right? He is. Let's go down to the 2. God, that's a lot. I know that's hard for you guys to see, but I don't want to take anything off just yet. Okay, so he's giving you a candidate here for this to play as the 3, because if this is going to keep going here, so as any skilled technician would do, you don't want to assume, oh, I've nailed the high, so now I can just short. You want to be prepared. Is there an alternate here that would allow this to continue to go higher? Because just working backwards, you can see, oh, that could be the 4. Oh, maybe I've got an extension in the 1 here. So, well, this would do it this way. So we'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we got to account for that somewhere. That's a pretty skinny 2, not much of a 2. All right, crypto's prone to that. So if it's 1, 2, well, it could be 3, 4, 5, and we're done. But the alternate is that we've gone 1, 2, 3, and we're putting in the 4, and there's another kick, and this has still got more to go. Well, I don't know that I'd be saddling up to a short here in Solana of all markets, because if Bitcoin's going to go right, if in Bitcoin looks like it's dying to, but if this rolls over, I'd still not be looking for shorts here. I'd be looking so think of it this way. All right. So what type of trader are you, right? Are you trying to swing down here on the 15-minute and below to try and get every little pivot swing? If you are, okay, more power to you, but you are definitely going to be wrong more than you're right. Way more, right? That's the reality. The shorter your time horizon that you're trading, far more times you're going to get stopped out, far more, because you lose the bigger trend. Now, so if you looked at this, let's pull this back out. What did it give me? A 6-hour. Does this look like a trend that's weakening? Right? Every pivot is higher, high, higher, lows. So you've got a raging bull market here in Solana. Now, that doesn't mean that it couldn't, right? God knows, right? What's something, it's never anything that you can anticipate. It's always something you weren't anticipating that causes the thing to start to correct a little bit, right? So is Solana going to do that? Well, I wouldn't be shorting it all the way down, but if it did that, I would be here with my back the truck up mentality to be a buyer down here. NFTs aren't going anywhere. Solana not going anywhere. So if you got the opportunity to be a buyer here, oh my God, right now. So, but I wouldn't count on that. Right. So this will be quite the tell, because already you can look at it and say, well, damn well bulls are going to try and go get the pivots there. They're going to try and go get them. Well, what do I have? A 5 here, right? I got a 5. What am I looking for next? Right. It looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4. There could be one more little kick there. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. I might be done, right? That could be done. I'm going to guess that broke the golden zone. Looks like it's a little further. Might have 707 there. 707. 1, 2. All right, it's a good candidate for the 2. All right, what if that's correct? What am I looking for? Right? No ifs, ands, or buts here. That's the beauty, right? So we want you to trade 3s or Cs. This is in our purple belt, because there's no confusion here. If that's 1, 2, I absolutely, no questions about it, got to have an impulse here. If I don't get that, then something else is going on. So it's process of elimination, which is not necessarily a bad thing, right? So if you were thinking, oh man, I'm a short Solana right here. Well, you better get a 5 here, and you better get an impulse. Well, pardon me, right? You could have a diag if this ends up being a big ABC of some kind. You could have a diag, but you need a 5 here. If it's 1, 2, 3, well, right, then the 4 and the 5, right, become. Do you see this would make it more probable. If I got 5 in the one, 3 here, and then I got this 5 here, and I'm coming into that structure, boy, while it's possible that we're just correcting here, and that's the ABC. Again, you're back to what would you be if that's going to be the 4. Again, what is the market supposed to do, right? If it does this, well, now you're thinking, well, hey, whoa, ABC. Right. And unless I get the 3 here that rolls over, well, then it's just, again, it's one more. Okay, I know where I am. If I break this low, I know right where I am. I'm in the first 5. So then I got my A wave. Now, what is the market supposed to do? Right. You can see he's laid out the blueprint for you. It's all, what is it supposed to do? And what does it actually do? It's good work here, even though this is hard to see. But there's so much advantage here. You see how he's gone through every pivot is accounted for. I'd be willing to bet you that 99 out of 100 traders or 999 out of 1,000 don't put that kind of effort into their TA. They don't. Right? That's your advantage. What does the average person do? Well, they throw up some support and resistance, and we'll see what happens. Right? This is, again, you either love this or you hate it, right? So, I mean, the way I look at this and go, if I can get that precise with what the market is supposed to do next, right? If it's going to follow this count or this roadmap, if I can add precision rather than just go, all right, well, there's the support, there's the resistance. All right, well, let's just see what happens. If I can nail it down to, oh my God, look at this, I got 5 and right into an 8. I got a triangle that followed the 2, and I can look at that. I expect the 1, the 2 here. It's still, you don't have certainty up here because this is a raging bull. This thing could keep going. You don't have certainty here, but you have the ability to reduce potential scenarios here. Because if it's not this, it must be that. And if it's this, then I'm expecting that. Just a huge advantage you have over other traders who don't do it. Why don't they do it? Either they don't know or they're just not willing to put the extra work in. That's your advantage. That's your opening to pick their pockets. Oh, that's a fucking pain in the ass. I'm not going through every pivot. I can just see, okay, well, there's the support. It should hold here. It's simple. That's definitely in the keep it simple, stupid. That's definitely simple. And so I'm not saying that you can't make money that way. I'm just telling you, compare the two. Come on, now, seriously, who's got the advantage here? The guy who's going, well, resistance, support, well, we'll see what happens when it gets there. Or the guy who's dug through every little pivot and can account for it into an entire trading methodology here that's proven over, wow, Jesus, how many years? When he was 30s, 100 years. Well, it's just so much easier to just draw lines. True. All right. That's great work, CZ8. Solano here is on everybody's watch list. All right. So this is why everybody keep this one out. You were say something, Money?
Yeah. So we had another tip, but it's from Johnny. Last week he requested SXP, and so I was just gonna.
Oh yeah,
let him know that
Johnny knows I kicked that back to him because our thing got. I didn't feel right taking that from him.
Okay. Well, so I was just going to let him know that No, I wouldn't do it again. I did link the.
Oh yeah, because I went through it in the video, but I didn't. Yeah. He tipped us, and I was like, "Oh man, I can't keep that." Right? You were looking for it in live stream, so I kicked it back to him.
Okay. Well, he sent it again today, so thank you for that. We did cover it.
Yeah, it's in. I think I did a pretty detailed. I think I went like 12, 15 minutes on it.
Yeah, you did. So
because I knew he had been doing that. All right. Well, let me keep moving here. If I don't have another, because I've got I've got like 4 more here.
Yeah, Badger, GRT, XPRT, and ETH. So
Trotter's giving me 3. I may not be able to do 3 there.
It's not 3. I think it's Badger. It's just 2 charts, and then he's got
3 charts of it. Okay, I got it. Okay, and did he give me a link? Okay, here we go.
The third one, yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right, guys. How are we doing on time? It's not too terribly bad. So when did we start? Oh, we were late on the start too.
We started 2 hours, 20 minutes ago. So not terrible.
Okay. Oh God, where are my shades? Always, it's funny. I always have someone who likes to keep it in white. I used to do all my charts in white.
I wouldn't say that though, or all your shit's going to be white as well.
Yeah, everybody's going to give me in white. No, I don't. For a long time, all my charts were in white, but with TradingView, I switched to black, and I don't know if I had glare for some reason. I went to black, and I never went back. Oh God, pardon the pun. Okay, so Trotter, what are we doing here? Badger. Okay, so let me pop that here.
I'm gonna have to clip what you just said too.
So I have to edit that out. All right, hang on one second. I'm fucking roasting here. Let me turn my AC up. These days, I got to learn how to use my Nest. I put it to 72, and then an hour later, it'll be to 77. I don't know why it does that. Obviously, I don't know how to work it right. Okay, Badger. So let's all right, let me get back to concentrating. Okay, what do we got here, Trotter? Trotter's been with us for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, for a while, yeah.
Yeah, I think he has. All right, so here's an example where no Elliott is not required. This kind of looks like classic TA. Well, you could. He's got a point here, right? This is kind of. Well, just looking at it here, that looks like a tough push to call that a 5, and it looks like that's your actual low here. It looks like what are we looking at here? We're looking at, we need to be in log scale, maybe not, but let's just pop it up just to see if that opens it up, right? So there we can see the better start here. So right off the bat, that looks like a 3. Looks like you'd have to do this. 1, 2, oh fuck, can we get that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. So it looks like you'd have to do this. See, that's the problem. When there's in white, then all my colors get screwed up, right? So that might be WXY, A, B. Yeah, I think it is. All right, so let's just label it correctly, right? So looks like you'd have to go WXY. Oh, I'm just trying to throw this on here, see if it helps. Right? So can I get 5? Well, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Oh shit, you might even do it here. You have to expand the B. We'll keep it simple. All right, we don't need to dwell on that. Okay, so coming over here, 1, 2. All right, so this is going to screw my colors up, but we'll try it. Well, that's interesting. I don't know if you guys can. Oh, you know what? I think I can do this here. I think if I go here and go, give me a second here. Trotter may hate this, but then we'll be able to see it better. Okay. All right. So now let me go back into log scale here. Okay. So now, all right. So my colors actually, otherwise it'd be too hard for you guys to see. Okay. So this looks like a 3. So whatever happened here. Okay. This is good example. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right. That's what you're in. Right. It's not what the market does. It's what it's supposed to do and doesn't. Right. So as we come down here, okay, well, this is one hell of a long correction. And I don't have any clarity in terms of what actually happened here. I mean, I can get an impulse here, but it just looks like a big ABC followed by WXY. Okay. Well, now things get a little more interesting here. Now, here's one of those classic examples where you look at it and you go, well, I don't know, log, no log. Okay, well, what's the range, right? Do we have at least 4 times the range? Yes, right? So here, sometimes it's you're popping it into log just to open it up a little bit more. But here, since I can look at that range, you have to just use your eyeballs and say, okay, well, do I get a reaction at the golden zone? Because we can't confirm, unless you're sitting and talking to someone who's writing the code there, we can't confirm what they're doing. All we can do is use our eyeballs. We know. We're same thing with arithmetic, right? We've seen it 10,000 times. I've probably shown it 10,000 times. When you go to log scale, you got to go, well, shit, I haven't sat with the guy who's running that code to say, oh, here's what we do when it goes into log scale. Well, so all you can do is use your eyeballs and look and say, well, is it responding there? Is it responsive? I'll have to get that down here, and let's get our. Okay, well, there's the target. Looks like they had a series there. front run, target's not hit. That's too far. So you'd have to go back one. Well, does the Elliott help there? All right, we've got, well, certainly log scale. There you go. Golden corner, right? Not 618. We are in the golden zone now. So there's your classic. All right, that's the trade I try and teach you guys. So as that's coming down here, you're not necessarily sitting here with a limit order, although if you did, you got a nice little pop out of that. You're looking for confirmation that the algorithm is going to fire here because we're not sure in log scale. Well, let's keep an eye on it. Oh, I got the reaction I was looking for. What's the next? What's what I want? Right? I want the retrace because now look at my risk reward. Right? Not now. This is an easy one. Okay. Right. Even if I wanted to give it to the 707, right, I could, but no reason to, right? So I've got a perfect golden corner. Why carry that lower? If it's going to go down here, I'd rather take the small stop and then reevaluate down here. Does the count work? Maybe I'm finishing with some sort of 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I've got another leg down for that 5, right? So there's no reason for me to carry that drawdown. I'll take this again, boxing, right? You can jab me, but I'm not giving you an uppercut to the jaw. That looks like it was technical as well. Got it, right? So right in the pocket here. So 1, 2. Well, I'm on a daily. I could probably go down to a 2 hour and probably have another golden here. But look, see, the risk reward is so good here. Well, first hurdle I got to clear is I got to get through that side. First resistance. Okay, so if I have a good low here, Badger, on this, if I have a good low here in Badger, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's a bad 4 to that. Well, I'm kind of working backwards. So you look in here and say, okay, well, I finished with the 3. Can't finish with the 3. So the only way I can finish with the 3 if it's part of a WXY, right? So it would have to be, this would have to be the X. Now working backwards, can I go A, B, C? Oh, it looks like I'd do it this way. So you'd go WXY. Okay, so I've got A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. Okay, I'm with it. Okay, I can see it. It's not the cleanest thing I've ever seen, but okay, it makes sense to me. Okay, I'm right in the pocket here. So I got a perfect little entry here. So if you're looking, Trotter, if you're not in already, if you're looking right here, well, that's not a horrible place to be getting long. I've got that right on there. Not a bad spot. I'd take that trade. Just to here, you're inside 3 to 1 here. So this, you're going to need to get more there. 3 to 1 is kind of this iffy. 3 to 1 coming in just on the other side of that 707. So you could wait, right? So that's again, this is how a professional is going to look at it. Okay, if I can't get 3 to 1 unless I break that golden zone, do I want this trade? Well, the alternate here is say, well, I've got a good candidate here for a low. It's not the cleanest WXY ever, but if that low holds, what do I know here? If that low holds, this is not my target. This is just the first area where I know I'm going to get resistance. My target is up here. Now what have I got? 18 to 1. So is that a trade you want to consider taking? Well, I can't answer that for you, right? But so you would look at that and say, well, if this is the 1 and that's the 2, if, heavy emphasis on if, well, I'm certainly going to break that, right? If I'm going to get a 3, 4, and a 5. Now it could do it in a diagonal, so it could be, right? You could have something like this, right? We get a diag to start it with. So it's again, I draw the impulse. The bottom line here, I need a 5 to come out of here, and I need. If it's going to play good Elliott ball, I need 5 longer than 3, 3 longer than 1, right? So I can say, okay, I know what I just got there. I got a leading diag right out of a golden corner, right? So I'm not going to take profit here because I know I've got 80% probability of getting that median line. So if this comes out of here, if this holds now, right? So it's a little nerve wracking here, but you shouldn't mind, because look at the amount of risk here is so small. Again, you can't get in the ring and expect not to get hit. You're not going to knock the guy out with your first punch. Not going to happen. Okay, but if I get a little 3, right? So it would have to be through that to call it a 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's not going to be, right? If that's completing the 1. My bears, right? They're going to come back and make you earn it, right? Oh, 3 comes down. Right. If I got that, well, now if I got that right there, boy, now I'm getting even more enthusiastic, because if I don't get there in this angle, right? This angle is still very much in play. If I get that right on it, I don't want to get it right here. I mean, here is a place to add, because what am I targeting? I'm targeting my 80%, right? I could get it here. Now, would that make sense? 1, 2, 3. I don't have this. So now this is just, you get better at this the more you do it. Oh, come here. If I could get that followed by that. All right. Well, here's your high probability zone. Maybe I get it there. That's going to take a big push right there in Badger. I know this coin. I keep be damned. It's on the tip of my, I can't remember what they do, but I've looked at it before. So maybe I get the 3 there. Well, if I get this, well, of course, right, I'm going to just keep doing the same thing, right? Every time I get something like that, I'm going to draw the median lines, right? Maybe I get it here. I got a nice little cluster up here at 200. Maybe I get a big rip here, but those remain the targets. So if you get up here and, oh God, maybe you bump into some of that structure up here. Maybe we don't get that far, right? Maybe you only get that on your 1. You get that, you bump into some of the structure, right? Bears are going to fight there. They're going to defend it. They sold it here once, right? If it comes back there, they're going to sell it again. That doesn't mean that they get a winning trade here, but you can just understand why would it hit resistance here? Because these guys are going to defend their position. And if you get through it, what's there, right? Their stops are there, right? Which gives it the legs. This will be a battleground. Anytime, right? So anytime you get this is why we like this trade so much. Anytime I can get into the trade here where I have a technical pivot here, where I know not only do I get the algo, right? So I have software working for me. I can get the geometry here because I know algorithms are going to pay attention to that as well. And I can get that golden corner. Again, what are you waiting for? Right? If you don't take that trade, what is it you're waiting for? Because I'm telling you right now, this is as good as you get. You don't get anything better. There is nothing better. If there was something better, that's all I would teach. This is my signature trade for a reason. Because I've looked at all the other possibilities that I could put in front of you and say, that's my number one with a bullet of all the trades. If I could only have one technical setup, that would be it. I think I've said that before. Okay, let me keep moving. Trotter, that's good stuff, man. You gave me multiple charts here. So this is your triple zigzag. Oh, okay, that's your WXY. I see what you got. Okay, so you're giving me multiple counts on that. So you, all right. Well, as I look at it here, with this being, you got kind of that's not ideal, but you got a decent start on this. You'd have to do it this way into a double top, which is not what you want, right? You don't really want to go into a double top, but double tops are a reality. So we have to account for it. It's likely that this, so remember I was talking earlier before about wanting these to be self-contained. If I can finish the impulse here, I want to. I don't want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because I can finish the thing here. Now, is it a good finish? No, right? Nobody likes a double top, right? But it's a reality in the market. Double top. Shit, I mean, even that's a stop run, double top. It's just double top, double bottom, triple bottom, double bottom, right? It's just reality of how the market moves, right? So that because there's stops there, right? So one or two things happen. Either they use the stops for fuel or they bend you over, they run your stop and then they take it down, right? So that's why it's not like I'm saying that without good reason. These are horrible places to enter the market. Now, if you entered here on the assumption for the 5, you would have been anticipating that you'd get a new high in the 5. When it doesn't do it, hey, right? Again, it's not what the market does. It's what it's supposed to do and doesn't. If I don't get a new high here and I start to roll over here, by the time I take that pivot out, well, something else is going on. If there was something better, I'd show it to you. All right, let me keep moving. James M, right? Oh, yeah, beauty. This is his number one. This is his lake house trade. And by that, I mean it's going to finance his lake house. We hope. I say that with jest. But one of our great members here and always posts interesting content. And he's a great combination of Elliott, of what of all the things we teach, because he's a very skilled Elliottian, but he also does all of the unique geometry that Monte Crypto teaches. So it's a good combination of all of the above. All right, I got 2 charts from you here. Does this give me something I can work with? What are you giving me here, James? Hoping for the white count. Oh, fuck. Whoa. GRT. Top left one? Okay.
Fuck out of that.
All right, let me make the copy here. All right, so let's get that up here. Okay, so let's go. I gotta pull out just so I can see what you're thinking. Okay, so even that's not enough. Okay.
Hey, so Johnny, you just tipped again. He said Cody USD if you don't want SXP. It's not that we don't want it; we already did it. So if you're watching this, I did link the actual video that we did for SXP. It's not that we don't want to do it; we've just already done it for you in a video. So
I could do it again if we have time. I've got a shit. My wife just reminded me I got a 3 o'clock fucking
20 minutes. So,
you know,
he just tipped $5 that time just to let us know that.
Yeah, he wants us.
I guess he assumes that we haven't done it.
Yeah.
But we definitely have done it.
Yeah, and the last one I did, it was the first one I did.
Right. So I'm going to link it again. But yes, we've definitely done it. But I'll link it again for you, Johnny, and we'll send you back this $5. So
yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so here, let's get back to the graph. All right, so okay, well, this is a little ugly. Well, there's a lot. Look at the complexity here. So we've got to go. We've got to go ABC here, ABC here, ABC here, ABC here. Right? So we got a lot of 3s, another ABC here, ABC, ABC, ABC. Well, that's a lot of 3s. We are out of log scale. So we are from 20. Well, that surprises me, but it looks like he doesn't want that in log. I don't think he does. Okay, so right, because otherwise this geometry wouldn't play. Would it? Oh shit. I don't know if he wants that in log or not. What did he give me? Here's the picture. His picture looks like, is that in log? No, his picture's not in log. Okay, so I got to go back here. All right, we're getting pretty far out here on the warning lines. Okay, let's focus over here. Let's go back to the 2. Okay, this is the B. We're looking to finish with a C. Or let's see here. This one is kind of messy. I'm gonna just hide those. Just free that up a little bit. A, B, C. Okay, so candidate. No, pardon me. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're looking for. We got a candidate here for the C for the 2. Oh man. Okay, so this is either the Y or the 1. Okay, so this would be the Y. Then we'd go ABCW, ABCX. Oh, what are you doing here, James? This would be A, B, C into the Y. Okay, so you're giving me an alternate here. So this is kind of, what are we doing here? Oh, so this could be 1, 2, 1, 2. That's an ugly one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess this can squish it in there. It looks more like a 3 here. So WX, that could be, oh Jesus, could we get a Z in there? Well, let's stay with the count as he has it here. So per the idea here that we've gone 1, 2, this would have to be 1, 2 yet again. So ultra bullish. If I'm interpreting you correctly down here, James, I don't like that 1. I like the
so
2.
He's saying either it ended and we're moving up or one more drop. He said it's all ugly though.
Yeah, it is. I know this is his favorite. So I'm looking, I want to find something bullish here. I'm not sure I like that, right? So this could, well, I guess, so we could have ABC here yet again. We could have a diag, right? So we'd have 1, 2, it looks a little more impulsive. So again, just working backwards, that looks like the 4, the 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Okay, that's just kind of, yeah, you're right. That is a gnarly looking impulse, but you could probably squish it in there. It ain't pretty though, right? So that's a little bit of a Elliott shuffle. You're just kind of making do with it. See, when I say that, what I mean is you can probably get this done. Well, that's a fucker. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. But you're compromising a little bit, right? Again, Elliott's it's not perfect, right? In every swing, everything is not going to break down perfectly into 5s and 3s. So there's times where you just have to work with the highest probability count here. Can I get an impulse into that? Well, it's not the cleanest thing, right? So that start is a little gnarly. But there's a clear 3. Or so often it's the 3s that will guide you. There's a clear 3, but we've got this fucker, right? So it looks like you're going A, B, C. Jesus. Well, you can't finish it here. You kind of want to finish it there. So and then this comes back down. So it looks like you got to go W, X, Y into the 4. This is just a cluster F. I mean, even if you put it up here, 1, 2. See, you want to go 3, 4 here. 5. Difficult, right? So I just call this the 4 here. So we complete something here. Now 3, no, that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can get the A here, A, B, C here. Now it looks like a nice ending diag. Okay, so there's a trade here. So let me push that one off just for a second. Okay, so the nice and potential candidate ABC, right? So in a diag, everything finishes with an AB3, and we get ABC, and we get a contracting diagonal, as in 5 shorter than 3, 3 shorter than 1. So we get this nice contracting. Even if I bring this down here, so that's a good candidate actually, James. I like this here. Never get the first click. 1. Now testing. Now what are we testing? Right? Could it be all of this structure in here? Well, it's not ideal. Let's zoom in there a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. That's a little shallow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you'd like that to be a little lower. Doesn't have to. Well, all right, it might be a front run on the 50. ABC looks like you've got enough there. I'd like it a little better lower, right, of course, but 2, 3, 4, 5. That's ABC. That's not bad, and it looks like you can finish that if I go. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. You got a shitty finish there. Right? So it looks like you can get 5 there. So it looks like that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a fucker. So it looks like you got to do it this way. So you got to go A, B, C, or pardon me, W, X, Y. What I'm trying to get to, that's a bitch right there, because this would give you a nice, That's a tricky one, James. It looks like you'd have to do it this way. WX. Now this is kind of fucking you up, right? So there. Unless we truncate here, but you can finish it here. 1, 2. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish the ABC here. Unless this is, unless it's going to go lower here. So unless it's this way. A, B, C. Fuck, that's a toughie, man. A, B, 1, 2. Or if there's more down here, it's got to come that way. So there's 5. There's 5. A, B. Something's got to give her. So, because this is too good right here. So I can get 5. I can get 3. I can get 5. So you have to account for it. So it has to be part of that WXY. So let me try again. WXY. Now this could be A, B, 1, 2. There could be more to come there. Let's just check the algos there. That's a tricky one. Well, first, this one's too far, so you'd go lower. That's to the 618 to the tick, but we didn't get the target. I would keep it here until I saw that break. This could just be a failed run at it. You're kind of stuck with that. You something completes here because you got 5, 3, 5. So A, B, C, it can't be 1, 2. So the only alternate here is that you went A, you expand the B, and now you're working on the C to get the X to finish, to give you the Y, and that thing would go down here. So this looks like what you're likely to get here. Let's go minuet here. 1. So you're still working on that 2, right? If this is going to hold as a good 1, oh shit, that's a little big. We do it that way. 1, 2. And that would make sense, right? So you'd get it down here. So you'd get a better location here, and kind of looking at that looks interesting to me. Play off of that. You can even bring it left. Play off of some of that structure to get this down here. So you really want that fucker to finish. Now we're out of log, so I would use a regression channel here so I can get all of that in. All right, we're getting some throw over here. A, B, C, something like that to bring me down here. I'd be reluctant to be a buyer here because this is too, who knows, too wonky, right? So what can I see with certainty? I got a low. I got it's close, but that's a lower high. I get a new low. I get a lower high. I get a new low. Right now, I got a lower high, and I've got it in a 3. So this is a little dicey in here. I don't think you're at a place here to enter the market. I like it down here. This needs to clarify what you're going to do here. That's a bitch of a finish. Because if this pops up here and we take out that pivot, you're going to be stuck with this, right? So it's going to be, Jesus, that's going to be brutal. Let's hope it doesn't do that. I don't know how you're going to solve that. A, B, W, X, well, can't finish it there. You cannot get a 3 into that. No, this is going to be unless this is part of that and you had to go, oh, fuck, can you even do that? Well, you'd have to count for that. 3, 4, 5. You still got a 5 here, right? Well, this is a bitch, man. Here, I'll tell you what, James. This one, I would be on hold here until you get some clarity here. One of these has got to clear it up for you, or this one. I would much prefer it to come down here and give you the chance to be a buyer here. All right, so some sort of X comes and then one more down to get that done. Otherwise, you're guessing. It's not always, remember, Elliott is always it's a snapshot in time, right? Right now, well, I don't know how to solve that, right? You can't solve it without some force fit. And because I can go 5, 3, 5, well, I'm kind of stuck. So what is the market supposed to do here, right? It's supposed to do this, right? And I'd be gone. What does it do, right? It's not what the market does. It's what it's supposed to do and doesn't. Well, so now I've got a new low here. Well, that doesn't quite make sense right there. So when in doubt, right? If I don't know, if I can't nail it down to, oh, I know right where I am. I know what the algo did last. I see the geometry. I understand the count. If I don't come to all of that, next trade, or I just keep it on my watch list, right? This has been on my watch list for a long time, right? Because James has been very enthusiastic about this project and has done really well with it. So as we sit here, I much as I want to get long, I mean, this is a nice start here, right? All of this looks just gorgeous, right? So you got a beautiful 5, but you got this wonky 3 over here. Just uncertainty, right? The market is not revealing itself here as to what it's going to do. But down here, much more. So I would just set an alert, right? In fact, I'm going to do it right now. Right. So if this comes down here, now I'm going to pay attention again, right? How did this resolve? And it may be that we get something here and you're like, oh, okay, it's expanded B and I get my 3 down here. And now if you get that and you're over here and it's this moment in time and we're looking at this next week, this isn't easy. Oh shit, right? What's the problem here? I know exactly what we're doing here. And I'd have another golden corner, right? So then now the ingredients for a trade are there. Here, maybe it's a start on it, but I don't think there's enough to take a trade here. I wouldn't put money at risk off of that uncertainty, right? Because this is heads I buy, tails I sell. That, I'd take that all day, every day. If I see that, right, I got one target. Well, that's right. And so then you look and say, hey, if I get that, is that my 3? Nope, that's not going to be the 3. All right, there's the 3. That's what you're looking for, right? You're looking for that to blow right through the median line and go get the outer parallel, right? That's how you know you got a good 3. All right, we got everybody. I've got to go to this fucking. I think I got to go, man. You with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think I got to go. My wife's telling me I got a dentist appointment. God damn, I didn't forget. I forgot when we moved it to later in the day that I was going to be running into this deadline. But this is the kind of thing. And anyone who's out there married can relate to this. My wife set this appointment like I don't know how many months ago. If I don't go, I'm going to. I need to go.
No worries. I can take over. I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you do, would you finish it for me?
Yeah, we've only got 2 more XPRT.
Yeah, if you would, that'd be a big help because I'm going to get all sorts of shit if I don't do this. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys sticking with us here. There will be a table of contents. I think Money Crypto will have that laid out for you so you don't have to listen to 2 hours of this. You can go right to the coins that interest you. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to try and hold the 11:30 time, and we should be prompt tomorrow, barring any technical glitches. We're trying to hold the 11:30 time. So look for traditional assets tomorrow at 11:30. And with that, I got to go to the freaking dentist here, and I'll turn it over to Money Crypto.
All right, all good. I'll take care of it.
Do I have to turn off my screen share? Stop share now?
Yeah, just close your Zoom. You'll be good to go.
Close everything out, but it won't close you out. Okay,
nope.
Got it.
Mm-mm. All right, later.
Thanks, man.
Bye. All right, 1 second. I'm just going to do big chart. 1 second. All right, y'all should be able to see it now. All right. Everything looks good. So this is Carnage BT. He asked for XPRT USDT. And I have no idea what, I guess KU coin. No? Which one are you using? The Syndex. X. I guess this one. I've never heard of this. A Syndex. All right, so no count except for damn, that's really wiki. All right, so he's got that as the counts. Jeez. Definitely very wiki. So I'm just going to do some Monty shit here because I don't even want to try to count that. That's not the greatest look. Falling out of that, it needs to get back in. We also rejected the macro. Value area high, we rejected it right on the edge of this here. So if you're looking at this saying this is a completed impulse, rejected 382 here. So potentially going deep, breaking the golden zone. Heading for 666. Ooh. And that could be your, I mean, I guess we could stop here, hold this, and this would be your A wave. Maybe C, I guess. I don't know. It's definitely three wave though, so you need, I would think, another kick down. Yep. So there's your median line tag. It's on modified. You got shift, hit it as well. So are we going to come out to this outer edge here and then go down for the median? Definitely looks heavy to the downside. I'll have Sam get you a count on it, though, if he can. Carnage, because I know you've asked for this before. So far, I would think another kick down. Just using, he's going to use this high. I would use this one. And I'd be looking probably in there. Just not a ton of history to work off of. Yeah, I'm thinking in here, potentially real deep if we get here on this speed fan. All right, James, do you want me to do ETH? Do you care? Do you want to see what I've got? Are you still watching, James? Because if not, I'm not going to dig into this very much, but if you want. All right, you're here. So this is my deviation of it. I've gone through like where my next target is, 76.30. I've got my deviations there based off this pull that's on the index chart, and basically now just I don't have a clue what the count is, but these deviations have shown to be pretty good. Here was the 50 of this pull, and you see we bounced off of it perfectly. Gained this one, came to the next, and now rejected that one. So now are we going to reject in here again perfectly, 36, and come down and test in here? Or are we going to get above and be bullish and push for our 76 or 50 to 59? That's basically where I'm at. Right now, we're holding on the smaller deviation. You see this drop down here, hit the 50, perfect. Ended up rejecting it again. Held the 0.25, and now we're almost at a sit and wait scenario. Are we going to push, hold, and get above here? Or are we going to reject or push up just a little bit more and reject that? And I don't know. I'm not in any position right now as far as in my trading accounts, because we're effectively at resistance. And I was hoping for a larger push down just based off my triangle idea. So I'm kind of just sitting here waiting. Yeah, so speed fan here. Taking the high, the low. 65 was resistance, but we got in it, pushed, and now we're rejecting the Monty zone area. If we can push and get above this, then maybe push up, push down and hold and take off. But no position for me here. It's at a sit and wait. All right, if we break above, I'll be looking to buy on a pullback, and I think that would be our confirmation to push above, whether it be here or here, and of course deviations of this, whether I'll be targeting 50s of each for resistance. You can see 50 of this deviation was perfect top, 53, 57. And then we fell all the way back to this one. So we already tagged this one. So next one would be, if we get the new high, 52, 62. $63.21 or the full algo at $76.30. Above that, the 3618's at 152,000. So don't think we make that one for now. I know some people are saying 10K or 12K, whatever. Next big deviation would be 11 or 16.1. So I think that would cap it out for this full run, and then we would come back to wide aways, maybe 800. So that's my current view, but it's just a spitball quick on my current thoughts. Rejection here, and I'd be looking for 24.7. I know there was some 2100s too. Some targets that I was looking at. So 50 of this range, which is looks like it's untested on the daily right here. To me, this is a good test. So unless we're breaking the lows for both Bitcoin and ETH, I think these would be your targets. If it's triangle idea on Bitcoin, We could nuke all the way down here, which would be the same area that I'm thinking for Bitcoin. But best buys are right in there for us. Ideally, we go up, I guess, even though I'm not in many positions. It's just where the most amount of money to be made is. Get in, watch it rocket in the next 3 months. Take profit, chill, watch the world burn. To put it lightly, I guess. But anyway, I think that's good. We're 3-hour live stream. So I'm going to get some lunch and wait to see what happens. See if we get this push above 34.50 and just sit and watch. But all right, guys, thank you for hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow, probably not as long. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for the donations today, guys. Hopefully the charts were good enough for you. Take care, and we will see you tomorrow morning.